to have the, look over.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that you really need to look at the places that maybe have never seen sun. I thought you were safe in those places. So anyway, we'll get kind of a lesson from Dr. Ravi Johar at 3:30. In the 4 o'clock, Adam Bundren, Lauren Risley's right-hand man, will be joining us because we're going to talk about how going back to school affects the housing market. And so is there a different approach? Do you handle things differently? Do you hang on a second to put the house on the market? But a lot of people want to be in place before the school starts so kids can, start the year off there. So we'll talk to Adam about that. We'll check in with Shannon Kingston, ABC News State Department reporter. And looks like President Zelensky is saying that Putin is bluffing. He does not believe that there might be any kind of...
I wouldn't blame him for feeling that way.
No, I wouldn't either. So we'll get the latest on that. We'll talk a little sports with KTRS Sports Director Brennan Weezy. And when I say little, we're just going to talk about the chances of the Cardinals really getting that wild card.
Okay.
So that's what's coming up at 4:50. And then in the 5 o'clock, TEDx St. Louis. I'm sure by now everybody has heard of TED Talks. Maybe you've watched one online. Maybe you've been privy to see one in person. But we have TEDx St. Louis. So we'll tell you what that is and about a big event, their 25th event coming up September 5th. And we'll tell you who's taking that stage and what you can learn or how you can be inspired by that. We've got some entertainment news, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms. I saw something today, and I thought, well, this is kind of odd, but it is worthy of a conversation, I think. So let me just throw this at you, if you will. It is gossiping with your spouse. Not about your spouse, but with. And it might be, coming home and talking about somebody at work. It might be, one of your friends. But a study found that gossiping with your significant other can actually improve your relationship.
I believe it.
Couples that gossip together tend to have a better relationship overall because it reinforces the idea you're on the same page. You're on the same team. You're kind of agreeing with one another.
Can I take a little umbrage
Yes.
with the word gossip?
Yes.
If you and Marcia are talking about somebody at Marcia's work, hey, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Is that really gossiping, or are we just talking about our day and people we know?
A great point. Because gossip, I think, gets a bad...
negative connotation.
And usually when I think gossip, it is, do you even know if it's true? If you're talking about someone and it's the facts and you're just sharing an opinion, I'm with you. I don't know that that's gossiping.
Somebody will help me remember the comedian. It might be Richard Pryor, might be Eddie Murphy. Anyway, what I'm talking about, how you need to listen to your wife. You don't need to solve the problem, just listen. And then he used an excuse where she's talking about work, and the only thing you have to say is, I'll change one of the words. I told you that person was crazy. and then just let him keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's not quite the same. But yeah, listening to each other, talking about experiences and people in the day, I don't think there's any question that it improves the relationship.
Yeah. And this says, doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. It's just that whole thing. Here's something else that I thought, well, this makes complete sense. And I know that we live in a world where sometimes more is more. But another study found that living the simple life really does make us happier. And they define simple by breaking it down into 5 different categories. So
I'll check them off and see if I get 0.
Yeah. Beneficence, which is, of course, sharing skills, resources, helping build your community. So kind of, I guess, being a benefactor, but not necessarily in money, but really being a part of the community. If it is a pick weeds day in the neighborhood, or if it is to be a part of that, it's important.
Okay, 0 for 1.
Okay. I'm not too good at that one either. But you know what?
If neighbors want help.
I would disagree. You go out and do different events.
Yeah, charity things.
Yeah, so I would say that you do that.
Okay.
I think you're 1 for 1.
Yeah, my next door neighbor's cutting down a tree. Can
Get
I
out
help?
there and help.
Can I
Yeah,
help? Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
So you're all right. You're all right. You're still on board. Resource conservation. You don't waste food. You repair things instead of immediately replacing them.
I think basically because it makes sense economically.
Yeah.
Now, the negative side of not doing that is I'm not a leftovers guy, as you know.
Yeah.
I don't eat garbage.
But maybe somebody else in the house does.
Everybody else does except me.
So it's okay because you've got the other people
What do you mean you're not a
gobbling it up.
leftovers guy?
I don't eat garbage, Connor.
It's not in the trash yet. It's on top of the trash. Bob.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I appreciate your position.
Mm-hmm.
I got to draw the line.
Oh.
No,
Wow.
there are some things I will eat the next day, but when I've seen something in the fridge for a few days, it kind of chaps me.
Few days I'm tossing it out.
Yeah.
I don't want it either.
Like Jen she's making all of Brendan's favorite dinners because he's going away to school.
Oh, that's so fun.
And one of them is her chicken pot pie. And everybody else has been eating the leftovers the last couple days.
Not you.
I haven't.
Maybe you're just sharing so that they can have more. You don't want to hog it all.
I need to hire you as my agent.
That's right.
Have you
Just
tried
spin
it? Have you realized it tastes almost the exact same as fresh?
It's the almost
Oh,
that
that's the
turns me off.
problem. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I know it's a little weird
Yeah.
and quirky, but yeah, again, I have tighter limits on how far I'll go with food.
Okay.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Local procurement. You buy local.
Try to, yes.
Yeah. So not someone who buys everything on Amazon, but you try to kind of keep it
Absolutely.
here.
I really believe in that.
Self-sufficiency, including things like cooking most of the meals or growing food in the garden is a big one, which
You have a garden?
no.
Oh.
I can barely keep a plant alive. I just lost the one plant that I brought into the house probably 2 years ago.
Oh.
I did really well, and then
If you have
I'm surprised you even keep the plants in the house because they get the bugs with the
it's the
plants.
only one, and it came straight from the shops right into the house. The rest of them do not. And you know what I would like to say? So Jennifer Blom at one point argued with me about bugs being on them, said, it's okay. And even gave me some kind of spray and a list of to-dos to keep the bugs off of it. And it was about 4 months ago that she called and said, sorry, you were right. I just had a bug infestation in one of my plants.
Oh,
I'm
no.
tossing it out. I'm like, yep, that's it. I'm done.
Well, I know I can speak for my wife here. We admit it freely. If you have any parcel of land, big or small, that's over-vegetated, hire us to take care of it. It'll be dead in days.
That's a great point. A great point.
It'll be desolate.
And then the final one is you just don't buy a lot of stuff you don't need. It is just simply living a little with less.
I think we can all do better at that all the time.
I think we can too. And I looked at this and I immediately thought of my great aunt and great uncle, who were probably, in my opinion, the happiest couple. They didn't have their own children. We were all their kids, but they lived in the same house, drove the same cars, didn't replace furniture, did have a garden, did have the chickens like I had told you.
That's great.
Did butcher, did fish. And it was, they were healthy and happy. And I think there's something to that
That's fantastic.
list and something.
Yeah.
And I'm preaching to myself here because I do not do well on any of those, and I need to do a better
Have you
job.
considered getting some chickens in the back? Maybe a little coop?
I don't know.
Do you have enough space? How much space do they need?
We would have enough space. I don't know what that ordinance is in Lafayette Square, and I don't think that they would like our AstroTurf.
Oh.
as
And that
far
might
as
be a
that
cleaning
goes.
issue.
Yes,
Well,
it would.
you'd have to not let them in the pool either.
It would. Yeah, we're not gonna have chickens anytime soon. I can say that for sure. Somebody said I'm with you, Bob. Only leftovers I eat is pizza. I rarely have pizza as a leftover, but it is
Like if
one
you're
of my
getting
favorites.
it, you're just gonna
I'm eating
you're gonna
it.
eat it fresh.
Yeah.
The other one that Jen makes, it's good. It is good leftover, and I'll do that a couple days out, is her meatloaf.
Oh,
Make a meatloaf
some
sandwich.
things I think it tastes a little better the next day, depending on how the seasons have kind of settled in and
Yeah.
maybe opened up, if you will. I don't know. We
Thanksgiving leftovers.
yeah, some
That's-
of them
yeah.
are.
I go that route.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's one of my exceptions: pumpkin pie.
Oh, Yeah.
I'll just keep eating.
Going back
Yeah.
and back.
Yeah.
I'm that way with pasta. I just can't
Oh,
stop.
really?
And last night we went to Carnivore to celebrate a friend's birthday, and it was fantastic. I had a little steak Modega with a side pasta with red sauce. It was so good. Marsha had like a beef ravioli that was
Ooh.
delicious. Yeah. And it's a fun place if you have not been there. Carnivore.
Carnivore.
They have,
Okay.
That's in the hill, right?
It's on the hill, yeah, and it's fantastic if you're looking for a spot. We just have so many great neighborhoods, don't we? It's
Fantastic.
so much fun. This is another one I wanted to ask, and I feel like women do this more than men, and bathrooms have gotten better, and I'm talking about public restrooms. There are certain ones I know in airports where if you close the lock, it even like turns red or green if it's open.
Oh,
But
right.
if you don't have that and the stall door doesn't just stay open, is it okay to look under the stall and see if there are feet underneath?
Yeah.
Or has that become a completely rude thing?
I think it depends on how much you have to look under the little like if
And
you,
how close you are
like
to
if you
it.
can just see it from a regular standing position, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you're getting up there
To
and
really
kind
get a
of
look.
crouching to see if it, that's probably going too far.
Yeah. Of course, you should never really kind of peek in that crack. That
I
seems
don't think those
worse.
should exist anyway. Why do we not have stalls that go
Just
to the
close.
bottom and they
All the
close?
way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've been in some bathrooms that have those, and I realized this is the way it should be.
No,
Why do
I-
we have these little half stalls that with doors that leave like an inch crack?
not good.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I agree.
That is, I guess it's cheaper
Yeah.
in the scheme of things because you're not going all the way down, but it is so much nicer when you have a door that completely shuts.
The other thing about the walls going all the way to the floor, it makes it a little tougher for cleaning.
Yes,
But the gap at the door, 100%. That should be closed up.
for sure. Other public bathroom rules that this list says you should follow: no small talking with strangers. Which
Yes,
is,
please.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really wants that.
No.
For you guys, don't choose the urinal right beside somebody if there is a wall full of them.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Does it happen often?
Sometimes
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
I've seen it happen. I would say not often. Here's the thing though. If you got 4 urinals and one guy on one end and one in the other, there's 2 in the middle. You're going to be next to somebody and you think about that.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can do, but you do think about it.
Which
Hope this
urinals
guy
are
doesn't
weird
think I'm.
anyway. Why aren't there partitions there? It's just something we've gotten used
Sometimes
to.
you've got the little half one, the little half wall.
Yeah.
Heidi, men's rooms they're not very nice.
Yeah.
They're not very clean, and we don't treat them very well.
No.
Us men. I'm going to put some blame on us for why we get the second class options.
Whenever you wonder about things like that in bathrooms for men, just go to the men's room at Wrigley Field.
Oh,
At
And
least you don't have the trough. Right?
it's at least we're not in the trough.
really? It is
Or
literally
length
a
of
trough.
the length of the floor or the length of the room.
Yeah.
Wow. In every bathroom?
Yeah.
At Wrigley, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. But as far as not being as clean, I will tell you this. The women's dressing room, when I was at Channel 5, it at times could be atrocious.
Really?
And I'm not talking like dirty, like Kleenexes, but if you have
Like stuff.
5 women
Yeah.
with everybody's makeup or maybe hair dryers or maybe straighteners or curling irons and it's all over the place and then the hair or God forbid extensions, it's nasty. And most of those dressing rooms have carpet on the floor, which you think about a
Why?
carpeted
Carpeted bathroom.
bathroom is really kind of gross as well.
It is.
So yeah. Somebody said the old arena Checker Dome had troughs. Did it?
I mean, it used to be kind of standard fare in the stadiums, right? The old
Yeah.
stadiums. Or like the wall, where it's just the...
Yeah. I don't recall that.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
It's been gone a minute now.
It's been gone a while.
You
yeah.
know? Somebody said, do you remember the funniest video of a drunk guy sliding face first into the trough?
No. That's
That
disgusting.
Would be awful. Yeah. And then a couple people weighing back in on leftovers. and they're saying chili absolutely tastes better the second or third time.
I'll go the chili route.
Yeah, chili, pizza, best leftover. And then somebody else said that they absolutely love carnivore as well. Oh, lots of
Now,
good
gotta
stuff.
go.
will you eat things cold?
Yes.
Because that's usually what I end up going with. People look at me funny. Pasta.
Pizza.
I'll eat it cold.
I'll even take a bite of chili cold.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
It's
I
like
know.
gazpacho.
Yeah,
It's like,
but with beans.
but with beans and meat.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. All right. You guys know what we have coming up. First up, it's Dr. Ravi Johar, Chief Medical Officer with United Healthcare. And I hope you'll hang out, be a part of this show on this Wednesday afternoon on the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Hi, it's JJ from Spectrum Eyeglass Repair, the nation's leader in eyeglass repair. Is there a broken pair of sunglasses you thought were doomed to stay in the glove box? Are your glasses taped together, glued together? Bring them to Spectrum. We'll fix them. Spectrum Eyeglass Repair carries a large selection of pre-made clip-ons, cases, and accessories. We can custom make clip-ons to fit your frames. You'll like our service, and you'll love our prices, almost as much as you'll love our song. We're in Crestwood on Watson Road and in St. Peters on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. On the web at SpectrumEyeglassRepair.com. Now let's hear that groovy song one more time. Sing along with me. Spectrum Eyeglass Repair.
Home equity loans are home everything loans at Neighbors Credit Union. Home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. Anything and everything you have planned can be made easier with my friends at Neighbors Credit Union. With the flexibility of a home equity line of credit at Neighbors Credit Union, you can enjoy a great introductory rate for the first 12 months. The possibilities are endless. Stop by one of the 8 area locations or apply online at neighborscu.org.
Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 509288. Call 800-325-2697 for complete account and cost
Your
details.
biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset. Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor and Pella Windows specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a banner day.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant has been a staple in St. Charles for 35 years. Our comfortable, casual atmosphere offers some of the best comfort food you've ever had. Customers might know our delicious breakfast, but you can have whatever you want, anytime you want, with our full menu 24 hours a day. Nothing warms your heart like Gingham's famous vegetable soup, and we can cater your event, too. If you like homestyle food and great friendly service, you'll love Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
Yeah, they're on the med, and these medications are used, these GLP-1s, for reducing inflammation in your body. I get so many folks that are like, wow, I don't have the knee pain. I don't have the...
Because once you start losing weight, all these other things naturally happen to you in a positive way. Not just talk about the deals for KTRS listeners at stlmedweightloss.com.
All KTRS listeners, they get $50 to $100 off their first month. And what's beautiful about it too, hey, I get it. The economy, what we just had, guys, things are difficult right now, but we make the plan work for you. We have financing options. We make this work for you because we realize how important it is to get down in your weight, get your confidence back, and really start feeling like the old you.
Call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Meet me at the Village Bar. Ready for the world's best cheeseburger? Homemade onion rings, trashed wings? It's the Village Bar for food and sports. Cards, Blues, Mizzou, NFL. The game's always on. Open 7 days a week in De Pere. Grab your friends, grab a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:30 and time to get a check of traffic from Captain Paul Kopsky.
Heidi, an accident on southbound 270 at Olive is blocking the 3 left lanes with a traffic jam back to Page. There's also a crash nearby on southbound 270 at Ladue Road. Eastbound 64 bogs down at 170, and southbound 55 is heavy and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. If the severe storms have you saying, oh, hail, bring your car, truck, SUV, or van to Dents Express for a free hail damage repair evaluation. Dents Express will have your ride looking like new again, and they'll even take care of the insurance paperwork. That's Dents Express at dentsexpressstl.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Service, AAA Home Services is your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. They've been keeping us all cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and they've been doing it for over 55 years. And while it's really hot now, you've probably taken care of your air conditioner. You've probably had AAA come by. You know, don't forget to consider the AAA Home Service plans. Yeah, a service plan can save you dollars on maintenance year-round. Whether it's heating, whether it's cooling, maybe even includes appliance repair, plumbing, and more, because AAA Home Services does it all. For as little as $269 a year, you'll receive your spring air conditioning service and your fall furnace service, as well as discounts on all the other service calls and repairs you might need. So it's, in a way, for your home, one-stop shopping. 636-397-3200 or online, AAASTL.com to book an appointment. Call AAA. We're on our way.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. No pills gonna kill my...
Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband recently died of melanoma, but how many types of skin cancer are there, and what do we need to know? Dr. Ravi Johar, Chief Medical Officer with United Healthcare, is back to discuss. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you and Bob doing?
You know what? Happy. It's Wednesday. The sun's out. What more could you ask for?
That is very true. It's a gorgeous day out there.
You know, I just mentioned that I recently went to the dermatologist for my yearly checkup, and I'm ashamed to say I didn't realize that you could get skin cancer in places where the sun doesn't shine.
And those are sometimes the worst kind to get. So, yeah, that skin cancer is way more common than people realize. I mean, the big statistic, it's the most common cancer in the United States and worldwide. Oh. We know that that 1 in 5 Americans will get skin cancer.
Ooh.
1 in 5.
And how many types of skin cancer are there?
Well, there are 3 main types. The one that accounts for 99%, the 2 that account for 99% of all skin cancers are squamous cell and basal cell cancers. And those are ones that just occur in the outer layers of the skin. And between the 2 of them, they account for 99% of all skin cancer.
And can most of those be cut away?
Yes, those are very easily treatable if you catch them early. And that's the reason. I mean, what you did is fantastic. I don't know how many people know to go into the dermatologist for just a checkup or your primary care physician for just an overall exam. But that's really, really the best way to diagnose and find any of these things. And those cancers are very easily treatable if you catch them early.
Got it.
That leaves then there's about 1% of all skin cancers are something called melanoma, which is what Mr. Blackstock had. And that one can be, again, if it's caught very early, it's got a 99% 5-year survival rate. But if it's caught late at an advanced stage, it's closer to like a 20% survival rate for 5 years.
And is it because it immediately spreads to other places, or is it's just that bad of a cancer?
Well, it grows in a different type of cell. The basal and squamous cells grow on the outer layer of the skins. A melanoma grows in the melanin sites, which are deeper in the skin, and those are actually the cells that change color and give you skin tone and things of that sort. And those ones it's much easier for those to spread. And so that goes to the lymph nodes very quickly and can spread throughout the body.
I also read that melanoma is the hardest to identify. Why?
Well, one of the things you mentioned already, it occurs in places where people don't look. So melanomas occur a lot in the groin or in skin folds and areas that you don't normally think of skin cancer. When you think of skin cancer, it's on areas that are getting exposed to a lot of sun,
Yes.
which is the main cause of it. And so that's the main cause of skin cancer is sun exposure. And so that's where you look. But melanomas can occur in areas that can occur in those in sun-drenched areas, but they can very often occur in areas that you don't think of at all. And so that's why you have to be so careful about looking for those. They can even occur in the hair if things can happen in there.
Yeah,
so any place there's skin on your body, you can get a melanoma.
Yeah, Doc, I'd had a little bump on the side of my eye and for quite a while. And it sort of changed over time, and I kind of knew, but I go, well, it doesn't, I just sort of procrastinated. Finally, last spring, my daughter said, would you please get that looked at? And she pushed me into doing it, and thank goodness. Now, it was basal cell, and so we caught it early enough, and it was all fine, had a little surgery, and they cut it out. But don't procrastinate, right? Go see the
Absolutely.
dermatologist.
Right. Just go in and get this looked at. Just take a look at it. Look at yourself in the mirror or have a partner look at it, something for you. But just get something looked at. And getting into the dermatologist, don't worry about it. They see skin. They've seen all kinds of skin, and they're, nothing bothers them. They're very quick to look at it and say, yeah, nothing to worry about on this one.
Do we know what leads to melanoma? What are the causes?
Well, melanoma we don't know because it's not occurring from skin or from sun.
And
but the other ones we know those are there's risk factors for that. Basically being in the sun, having light-colored eyes or blonde or red hair is more risky for it. Anybody who uses a tanning bed is at much higher risk. If you're spending time out working or playing in the sun, you have a family history of skin cancer.
So it is hereditary.
More than a regular number of moles.
Okay.
We know the average American has between 10 and 40 moles. But if you have more than 50 moles, then you are at much higher risk. Things of that sort.
And do freckles count as moles?
Freckled skin, it's not a mole, but it does make you at a higher risk for skin cancers.
Oh.
And if you have darker skin, is your risk less?
The risk of getting skin cancer is much less. But if you do have darker skin, it's not diagnosed early. So the folks with darker skin tend to have much worse outcomes with skin cancer than very light-skinned folks because it's not as visible or recognized as easily.
Huh. And then can anyone at any age get skin cancer? Do kids get skin cancer often?
If they're out in the sun a lot, they can. Absolutely. That's why, moms and dads are always telling them to get some more sunscreen on because it's very often like that. We know that before age 50, skin cancer is more common in women. But after 50, it's much more common in men.
Wow.
And most of us, Doc, have heard this before, but scold us about sunscreen.
Sunscreen, SPF 30 sunscreen is the best one to get, and put it on all the time, as often as you can. Wear it on days that are cloudy as well as sunny, because what causes the skin cancers is UV rays, and the sun. When you're being out in sunlight, that gets you warm, and that's what you think of. But those UV rays are coming through cloudy days too, and they're actually more dangerous because you don't realize you're out in the sun and getting as many UV rays as you would when it's really sunny out.
Dr. Johar, one of our listeners has a great question. Can a dry patch on skin or face be cancerous?
Yeah, anytime that you have something that's a skin like that, if you get something flaky, scratchy, itchy skin like that's in one area, that could be also. So that's something that should be taken a look at.
So it's not just moles.
No, it could be a mole. It can be a pearly or waxy bump. Sometimes a flat, brown-colored patch or bump is in there. Sometimes it's an area that looks like a scar that just won't go away. That's something to look at. Crusty sores, or a wound or sore that won't heal up or that comes back again. And then rough, scaly lesion that could itch a lot or bleed. And becomes crusty, are all things that skin cancer can look like.
Got it. And then is the recommendation to see a dermatologist once a year?
That's the ideal thing to do. And dermatologist is probably best, but primary care physicians are also trained to look at skin and things of that sort. So if you're going in for an annual exam, that would be a place to start. And they may very well say everything's okay, or they may say you should go see a dermatologist. Some things you can think about yourself. There's something called the ABCDE rule. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
No.
A is for asymmetry, which means that the mole has an irregular shape, or whatever lesion you're looking at has an irregular shape. B is border. That means if it's got blurry or irregular edges. C is color. If it's got more than one color in the mole or lesion, that's something to be concerned about. D is diameter. If it's larger than a pencil eraser, you should definitely get it looked at. And evolution, well, just like when you mentioned, Bob, that's if something changes. If it's changing its shape, color, or size, and that's probably the most important thing to look at. If something is changing, that's when you should definitely get looked at.
And that's why you have to really pay attention and look at yourself often to know what it looks like to start with.
Absolutely. That's the best thing to do.
Well, Dr. Johar, we so appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much, sir.
It's my pleasure. You guys take care.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Just a slim chance for a spot shower into the early evening. Most of us staying dry, and the better chance for that spot rain will be south of St. Louis. As the sun sets, any spot rain would fade. We're dry overnight, low of 71 degrees, a high of 89. Very typical summer day, so it's hot. It's a little bit humid. Heat index to 91, but it's very near normal. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy and staying dry for Thursday. Dry again Friday, but hotter. 94, heat index to 98. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, highs in the mid-90s with a heat index around 102 to 103. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk about high school for just a moment, because that young man you brought home from the hospital yesterday, you're going to blink your eyes, and all of a sudden now you start talking about high schools. Well, that's where St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School comes in, because it's an all-boys, independent Catholic high school. And what St. Mary's will do is they will prepare your son to be the future. Whether it's college, trade work, or a career of their choice, St. Mary's over the years has produced a whole lot of millionaires and a couple of billionaires along the way. And when you graduate from St. Mary's, you have that alumni as a resource. Schedule your visit today and find out more about St. Mary's. stmaryshs.com. That's stmaryshs.com. They will teach the skills that are needed to thrive and survive in the 21st century, as well as teaching old school values. To find out more, stmaryshs.com. That's stmaryshs.com. It's summertime in St. Louis, and the Big 550 KTRS is ready to go.
We're here to keep you cool on those hot summer days.
Keeping you company to share a laugh and make some summer memories.
Thank you for taking the Big 550 with you wherever you go.
Download the mobile app, stream online, and watch us live on our KTRS YouTube channel. It's summertime in the Lou, and we're your summertime station.
Live, local, homegrown. We are the Big 550 KTRS. Depend on it.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. Summer may be winding down, but that means the great weather is moving in. Time to get the convertibles, motorcycles, and sports cars out. We're selling them at a brisk pace. As a result, we need to buy even more of them. If you have a very clean, classic, collectible, convertible, sports car, or even an everyday car you want to sell, how about an entire collection? We'll buy it all. And if we're buying them, of course we sell them too. Check out our site for some of the finest hand-picked vehicles for sale in the country. Ours are that good. Give us a look. It'll be worth your time.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have 2 locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple of screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
I know that a lot of us are pet owners. Bob has a dog.
And a cat.
And a cat. We have a dog. And today, Georgie went to the vet and got a couple shots, which is always hard. And I don't know how they know, but they know exactly when you're pulling in and go crazy. The cats hated it. Georgie hates it. But the reason that we took her is because she'd been doing a lot of licking.
Yeah, that's often a sign that something's up.
Yeah, and they said that dogs, as they get older, and Georgie's going to be 10, can get anxiety like many of us do as we get older, and licking could be a sign of that.
Oh.
Like she'll lick the sheets or she'll lick herself as far as that goes. So we got a couple of things we're going to try. But I saw this story and I thought, well, I guess that makes sense. The average dog owner makes about 27 decisions a month based on their pet.
Ooh, 27.
Doesn't that seem like a lot?
Do you think you make that many?
I'm going to say yes.
Are you the average dog owner? Or do you guys spoil Georgie? Do you, are you going above and beyond?
I think we're the average. I mean, I don't think we go ridiculous. She's spoiled rotten.
Okay.
But, I don't think we're over the top as far as that goes. I'm just thinking more of, where is she going to stay or what is she going to do? And she's eating the same things, but decision, are we going to take George? Are we not going to take George? Do we need to check in? Has George been alone too long? I think there are some of those everyday kind of things. This is interesting, and I would say we do not do this, but the average dog owner cancels social plans 4 times a month because their dog can't go.
I don't think we ever have.
Yeah, that's not something that we
so you
really
don't cancel them, but based on what you just said, though, you might
consider
change the plan. We have to go back at least to see George, let her out. Before we go out, we have to do that.
So is that a decision they count?
Yeah. And this says you cut plans short about 6 times a month.
Or we've been out for so long, we got to get back to
We need to. And I will say it's not just us. If we have friends have it, I need to go check on, or I need to make sure that. And maybe it's even just being outside by the pool. Does George need water? Have we, just a thought kind of,
I guess it's
process.
different with a cat.
Cat, you don't have to do anything.
I've never thought about anything. I have a cat. I wasn't listed in the.
I didn't know you had a cat.
It was Fitz fairly recently, like a couple months ago.
Welcome to the club.
I've never thought about. I've left him too long.
No, cats don't care.
He just kind of does his own thing.
Yeah.
He's a roommate.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And can get mad.
I got the thing that feeds automatically.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even really do all that much.
Male cat, female cat. Tell us more about
It's a
the
male cat. His name's Goose.
And where did you get Goose?
From a friend's parents who run a little rescue operation in Missouri. And,
nice.
There you go.
And,
that's really good.
How old is Goose? Do you know?
He's like less than a year.
Okay.
But he's not really a kitten anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cats are fun, and they have a lot of personality.
I'm surprised you're saying this.
Well,
because you don't like them.
we had a love-hate relationship.
Because Marcia had cats.
She had 3
Yeah.
when I moved in. And
Would you call her a cat lady? Close.
crazy cat lady. She's an animal person.
Yeah.
She would honestly probably let the squirrels in if I said okay. But 2 of the cats were fantastic. One of them was not, and actually kind of bit at my hair when I first moved in when I was sleeping.
You don't belong
more
here.
than once.
You don't
yes.
belong here, lady.
But
It was a love-hate then.
it was a love.
Or was it just a hate with that one?
I don't know, maybe
Okay.
a little bit. But Dulce was very, very sweet. So it's one of those things that you just kind of have to get to. And cats have personality. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to know what personality you are dealing with.
Our old man talks all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you know what kind of mood they're in?
Most of the time.
Mhm.
Most of the time. Usually
You
he
can
just
tell.
wants to go outside and chill.
I have a friend whose cat will play fetch, which I've never seen. She'll throw a ball and the cat will bring it back and bat it around and
That's
then throw it
amazing.
again.
Mine does that.
Really?
He'll bring me the toy.
Yeah.
Like I'll be sitting on the couch and he
That is
jumps
cool.
up with the toy and kind
Yeah.
of flings it at me.
Yeah,
That means he
that's-
wants me to throw it.
I think
really
that's
cool.
fun. And then I'm on board with the cat as far as that
Yeah.
goes. It is 3:51. Let's see if we're on board with traffic or not. How's traffic looking at this afternoon, Captain Paul?
Well, Heidi, we have an accident on southbound 270 at Olive, blocking the 3 left lanes with traffic jammed back to Page. The estimated clearance time is 4:25. Eastbound 64 bogs down around 170. Westbound 64 is busy in front of Forest Park. Southbound 170 is heavy from Olive down to 64. And southbound 55 is heavy and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
A message from the master. If you are looking for that one-of-a-kind gift this year, come on in to Newsetter's Fine Jewelers. Let Richard draw your future present for somebody you love. This special engraving lasts a lifetime. At the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stolzer have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, Estate Planning, and Elder Law. Call them 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
A legendary weekend is coming to the Lou. Don't miss the Stiefel Charity Classic presented by Compliance Solutions, September 4th through 7th at Norwood Hills Country Club. Watch PGA Tour champions compete and enjoy a live performance by music sensation OAR at Friday's community concert presented by CarShield. Tickets start at just $20. Kids, military, veterans, and first responders get in free. Get your tickets today at StiefelCharityClassic.com.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpet sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, Rayon luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newsletter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
All right, back in the day, 1914, Carl Wickman began using his car to transport miners between their homes and the mines in Minnesota. His taxi service took off. He soon bought more and more vehicles. That's now the Greyhound Bus Corporation.
No way.
So there you go. That's how it started.
Smart.
That's an entrepreneur.
Just a guy starting to drive people to work.
And kind of something out of necessity.
Yeah. 64 years ago, the Berlin Wall went up today on this day. It was up for how many years?
Did it come
I
down
can't do the math.
Well, if I gave you when it came down,
in 92? When did
89?
89.
88?
It was up for 28 years.
Wow.
So this day in 1961 is when
And it came down what year?
89.
89.
89,
Good
okay.
job. Okay.
Little local one for you, Bob. On this day, Lou Brock got his 3,000th hit. Would you like to take a guess at the year, or do you already know?
I thought you would. I was trying to go through Lou Brock trivia real quick in my Rolodex in my head. The only thing I got is Dennis Lamp was the pitcher, and it went off his leg.
Well, you know a lot about this.
Over to third base.
Okay.
But what day? What year?
What year?
Let's go with 1979.
You're spot on.
Ooh.
1979. How about that?
I admit it was a calculated guess.
Well, you know, there's only you know the range. You
Yeah.
know the range. Fast Times at Ridgemont High came out in 1982.
Wow.
It's been that long. South Park came out. That was 28 years ago.
I
1997
remember
is
when it came
debuted.
out,
It's
yeah.
incredible that it's still on the air.
Isn't that amazing that The Simpsons and South Park, two
I know.
animated series
That are a little wrong in some ways.
who push the envelope,
Yeah.
and they're still around.
Still around. Last one, Michael Phelps in 2008 became the winningest Olympic athlete of all time. On this day, he won his 10th and 11th gold medals at the Beijing Olympics.
Amazing.
Went 8 for 8, broke almost every record along the way. And I believe every single one of those records has since been broken. So that's
Really?
just how it works, you know?
Did you see he is teaching the Baltimore Ravens
Yeah.
how to swim?
Yeah.
There were like 6 guys that didn't know how to swim, and so they made it a thing.
Yeah, which
there you
I
go.
think is so cool.
Because he's a huge fan.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a life-saving skill,
Yep.
so that works all around. All right, coming up, Adam Bundrum with Lauren Risley Realty joins us. We'll talk about back to school and how it affects the housing market if you have plans to list your house. We'll also check in with Shannon Kingston, ABC News State Department, talking about President Zelensky and what he has to say about Putin. And then we'll also talk sports real quickly with Brendan Weezy, KTRS Sports Director, at 10 minutes before 5 o'clock. That's all coming up, and hopefully you'll hang out with us and be a part of it here on KTRS, the Big 550.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com.
Mizzou football.
The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW
From
St.
ABC
Louis.
News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Ahead of Friday's meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin, President Trump working to set the tone, holding a call today with Ukraine's president and European allies and pushing to end the war.
Heading into the Anchorage summit, the president says he's still hopeful he can get Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky together in the same room.
There's a very good chance that we're going to have a second meeting, which will be more productive than the first.
But he added a caveat.
There may be no second meeting.
Trump tells reporters he does not believe he'll be able to convince Putin to stop striking civilian targets in Ukraine. But he also vowed to ramp up the pressure on Moscow if Putin doesn't agree to stop the war.
There will be very severe consequences, yes.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. The first group of National Guard troops are on the ground in Washington, D.C. That after President Trump this week announced he was taking over the nation's capital to fight crime. The president signaling he may ask Congress to extend the 30-day takeover. In Texas, state Democrats who broke quorum and left the state to protest Republican plans to redraw congressional maps could soon return to the state capitol.
The Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he is going to call another special session on Friday. And so it's possible that we could see this all reset the clock. And we do know that Texas House Democrats, the legislators in that state who have fled the state, they say that they're going to be issuing demands for the special session, the second special session that we're expected to see called on Friday.
ABC's Avery Harper. Harrowing moments in the skies today after an unruly passenger assaulted other passengers and crew members and led to the flight between Norfolk, Virginia and L.A. to be diverted to Colorado.
That passenger was restrained twice, was able to break free, and then was swinging a skateboard, according to police. And according to the pilot, he was swinging a belt around. The plane was over southwestern Colorado when it made that U-turn and dropped from 34,000 feet and made a descent into Grand Junction instead of going to Los Angeles.
ABC's Sam Sweeney. The FAA is investigating. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement, and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. A Warren County woman is accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from the fast food restaurant where she works. According to the Wright City Police Department, the owners of a McDonald's franchise reported an employee, Heather Brand, had stolen cash from the restaurant. Brand was arrested in the parking lot with $6,000 in a bag. The McDonald's owner says a total of $52,000 is missing from July alone. Brand is charged with stealing $25,000 or more and resisting arrest. Brand bonded out of jail and has a court hearing scheduled for Friday, September 19th. A 50-year-old man has died nearly 2 weeks after being stabbed. The stabbing happened on July 29th when he got into a fight with a friend in the 100 block of Fasten Street. The man was taken to a hospital in critical condition, but was later stabilized and released 4 days later. On August 7th, the man returned to the hospital and was readmitted due to complications. He later died on August 10th. The identity of the man has not been released as the family is yet to be notified. St. Louis experienced another round of flash flooding. Officials say 2 to 3 inches of rain fell yesterday afternoon, flooding roadways and basements. Problems were reported at Choteau and South Tucker, Market and Compton, and Vandeventer in front of IKEA. A giant sinkhole in the parking lot has forced the temporary closing of Pappy Smokehouse near the campus of St. Louis University. Pappy's will be closed today and tomorrow. Pappy's co-founder John Matthews says the business will likely be closed even longer due to flooding from yesterday afternoon's heavy rain that damaged some of their interior walls. This comes just a week after Pappy was forced to close 2 days because of a water main break. The city of St. Louis has its first mountain bike trail. The 1-mile trail in Carondelet Park was built entirely by volunteers and paid for with private funds. The catalyst for the project was the South City Otters, a youth mountain bike team that competes in the Missouri Interscholastic Cycling League. They had nowhere to practice until now. Another baby was saved through the Safe Haven Baby Box in the St. Louis area. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
Missouri officials are reporting that a baby girl was placed in the Safe Haven Baby Box at the Melville Fire Protection District on Sunday afternoon. She was taken to an area hospital and is said to be in good health. Now, this is the second time a baby has been surrendered at the Melville Fire Protection District Baby Box since it was blessed and installed back in August of 2023. Safe Haven Baby Boxes allow for the legal, safe surrender of a baby with complete anonymity. Jill Enters, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Big day on Wall Street. Dow Jones closed up 463 points to 44,922. S&P 500 up 20 to 6,466. And the NASDAQ closed up 31 points to 21,713. Now let's get a check of sports and traffic from Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe, the Cardinals fell to Colorado 6-5 today at Busch, dropping 2 of 3 in the series. It's the second time in 3 weeks the Birds have lost a series to the Rockies, who have the worst record in baseball. And St. Louis City SC heads back out on the road this week to take on the Chicago Fire. City has not won away from Energizer Park since early March. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. They've cleared an accident on southbound 270 at Olive. Westbound 64 is congested in front of Forest Park and from Clarkson to Spirit of St. Louis Boulevard. Southbound 170 is heavy from Olive down to 64. Eastbound 70 is stop and go from the Dome to the Depressed section. And southbound 55 is heavy and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight cloudy with showers possible and overnight low of 70. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high of 90. Currently it is 88 degrees at 4:07. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor and Pella Window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a Banner Day.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Wednesday afternoon, August 13th. Incredible Pizza Company auctions arcade games, rides, and restaurant fixtures ahead of the location closing. We're talking 100 arcade games, indoor rides, and a slew of restaurant fixtures up for auction online at the Incredible Pizza Company location in South St. Louis County. Approaches its final day in business. America's Incredible Pizza Company is a Springfield, Missouri-based chain of entertainment centers with pizza buffets that operates as Incredible Pizza Company. And they announced earlier this month that it's closing its only St. Louis area, which is on South Lindbergh Boulevard, on August 17th. It's been around for about 13 years. Up for auction, about 100 arcade games, including Space Invaders, Nerf Arcade, Wheel of Fortune, Deal or No Deal, and Skee Ball. So you know I went to look. Skee Ball seems to be one of the pricier items. There are several of those. They're all right now at about $1,600.
Were you thinking about your basement?
I was indeed.
Mhm.
Wouldn't that be kind of fun?
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, they also have air hockey tables, mini bowling, NBA hoops games, which is kind of like Pop-A-Shot. even laser game and virtual reality. And then there's rides like go-karts, bumper cars, carousel, even little spaceship. Those are cheaper. The Incredible Pizza in South County is also auctioning a lot of kitchen items, buffet-themed dining room, and private party room fixtures. So the bidding is open now. It's online only, and it closes on August 20th at 1 p.m. So search for it online if you're looking.
A lot of cool stuff.
I feel like you'd be very
is.
competitive about the Pop-A-Shot game in your basement.
I think it would be a lot of fun.
It's like if someone came down there and beat your high score.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'd be down in the basement all night long trying to, reset the machine.
I love Pop-A-Shot.
I do too.
Always have.
Yeah.
You know what used to make me mad? There was one, what was the bar right across Hampton from the arena? A blues bar. Anyway,
I know exactly,
They had Pop-A-Shot in there. And my friend Randy Liebler was unbeatable.
Really?
Unbeatable.
Didn't miss a shot?
But he didn't shoot it like a basketball. It was the quick and just kind of flip it.
Where you just like all wrist.
Yeah, and it really made me mad because it wasn't
That's
basketball.
cheating.
Yeah,
That's right.
He
You gotta
figured
deal
out
with
the
your shot.
He figured out the game, and that really annoyed me. But he was great. I got a couple of quickies here. One, just a little bit concerning. Search underway for a man dropped off by a ride share in Rocky Mountain National Park. First of all, I go every year to Rocky Mountain National Park. I guess you can do it. You can do whatever you want, but you go up to the gate and you just let the guy off and he walks in. I guess you could do that. But anyway.
Did he plan on camping?
They said he just had a day pack with him. Blake Kiekefer was reported to park rangers that he was missing on Monday. He was dropped off last Thursday. 23-year-old man reported, as I said, on Monday. He was last seen in Upper Beaver Meadows, and last Thursday about 5:20. First of all, that's an odd time to be dropped off to go into the park. Yes, excuse me. It's summer. It's sunnier later, but that's still kind of a late time to begin your deal. And Beaver Meadows is as it sounds. It's a meadow. Now, there are hills and trees and everything all around. It would be very difficult to get lost there. I've been there many, many times.
Just because you can see more than in other parks,
And
probably.
if you walk, there's a trail, you follow the trail. So, and I'm not in a blame the victim thing, and maybe he's not a victim.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the story is odd, so let's keep an eye on it as the days go by.
How long's he been out there?
Since Thursday.
Yeah.
That's not good. But here's one that is just a little bit stranger. An American teenager set out on a journey to raise funds for cancer research and trying to set a record for the youngest person to pilot solo around the Earth.
Wow.
But his name is Ethan Guo, G-U-O. He was detained by Chilean authorities in Antarctica. It just gets kind of weird. 19-year-old landed his Cessna without authorization and had provided a false flight plan.
Oh.
He was authorized to fly over Punta Arenas, Chile, but then he kept going and went to Antarctica. So he's trying to set that record-breaking solo flight. Now, they shut him down, and he was staying at the military base there. The Chilean territory covers a region of West Antarctica as well as nearby islands. We found out the judge dropped charges if he's able to give, because he told them he was there on a humanitarian deal to raise money for cancer. So they said, well, then you've got a week to give $30,000 to the Cancer Foundation within 30 days. Otherwise, you're going to trial.
Ooh.
But he's trying to get out of Antarctica as quick as he can. Now, one of the American State Department people said, look, they have laws and they expect them to be followed.
Yes.
And, we're pretty lenient here, but you just can't fly into sovereign airspace and land and do whatever you want. You just can't do it. So the kid, based on reports and what he said, is out on a humanitarian mission trying to gain recognition. I don't think this is the recognition he wanted, and
No.
let's hope it all works out properly.
And hopefully he's already raised a little bit of that money
Yeah.
because that's a lot of money to raise in
30
days is what I would say. I got a fantastic text from Angie Markway. You know, she is with Altair Travel, which has been around since 1979.
Could they send us to Antarctica?
Maybe.
Okay. You should have talked to her first.
Yeah. But we're going to Costa Rica in November. And I mentioned last week that we had 2 single spaces. Well, now we have 1. So if you were kind of on the fence of, yes, I want to go to Costa Rica, I'm going to wait a little bit longer, we have 1 more single space if you want to join us. You can call Altair Travel 314-968-9600 to learn more. But I don't know if you're watching CBS Sunday Morning. I think it was this past weekend. And you know how they leave you with like the sights and sounds of the place? It was Costa Rica, and it was a couple of sloths, and Marsha and I both kind of
did see that.
Screamed out loud. We're like, oh my gosh, we are going to be right there. And it's just the
That's
colors and the wildlife and the waterfalls. It is going to be fantastic, not to mention the food. But wherever you want to go, whatever it is you want to experience, Altair Travel can help you with all of that. I mean, they're one of the largest full-service agencies in not just St. Louis, but in the region. And they provide just really professional expertise when it comes to planning either trips here in the States or abroad. And I mean, they really do kind of get to the nitty gritty of it. They want to know what makes your dream vacation, you know, a dream. Is it the food? Is it the adventure? Is it, you know, just being with family? And then they're going to kind of drill down and find you some fantastic options, from cruises to European vacations to absolute luxury, or maybe you want a romantic getaway. Altair Travel can help you with all of that. 314-968-9600, or go online. You can check out some of the featured destinations, altairtravel.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country. When you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
Connect with a local divorce attorney today. Text LEGAL66 to 323232. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kellwood, St. Louis.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Carney, Buck.
Thursday on the program, we go Julie-less, but we'll be joined instead by Michael McDonald. Festival of Nations coming up, too. We'll chat about that and sports. There's some of that. Brendan Weesey on top of it. Starts at noon. Join me and Max then.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS. The talk of St. Louis.
Congratulations to John Beal Roofing. Want to give them a shout out. They've been a sponsor of the show through thick and through thin for coming up on 20 years. And their message has remained the same all these 20 years. Make sure you call someone local. With all the storms that have been in the area over the last couple of months, it's been busy, and a lot of out-of-towners are coming in. They sure are nice, but you know what? They'll take half your money, and you never see them again. Somebody from the insurance industry told me, make sure you call local. I told them I was well-schooled. John Beal Roofing will guarantee you the best price. They'll work with your insurance company and make sure you get the claim you deserve to fix it and fix it right. Roofing, siding, gutters, all storm damage, John Beal Roofing will take care of it. Keep it local and keep it John Beal. Keep it in the family for 20-plus years. John Beal Roofing, 1-800-NEW-ROOF or johnbealroofing.com. How's your bathroom? Cracked tiles, outdated fixtures, a tub that's seen better days? Yeah, we all know the feeling. At Michael's Baths, they specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits any budget and any lifestyle. You want a walk-in shower? You betcha. Better storage or a fresh modern look? Simple, clean, and budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, and most importantly, no pressure. Call Michael's Baths today for a free estimate, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Hi, this is Stuart Rosenblum, president of Stewart's American Mortgage.
Stewie!
Mortgages are the biggest investment that a person's going to make in their life, yet most people don't know anything about it. Tune in for Mortgages and More with Stewie. That's me, where we can go over all the different types of mortgage programs in simple terms. You, me,
Stewie!
You'll become an expert after the first show.
Listen to Mortgages and More with Stewie, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is hard to believe, but the school year is upon us. But what does that mean for the housing market? Adam Bundrum, Lauren's right-hand man at Lauren Risley Realty, is joining us to explain. I think a lot of people assume that you guys just slow down, kind of take a break, but that's not necessarily the case anymore.
It's definitely not the case. I think the last few years have kind of made us a little bit immune to what you would consider standard seasonality in real estate, but we'll see a tiny lull typically when school, kind of the 2 weeks that school is starting. And then once the end of August rolls around, it's gangbusters until really, a couple weeks after Halloween.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's nuts.
So tell me about family moves and how that works with school-age children, because a lot of people want to get in before the school year starts.
Yeah, they really do. And I think that was a very common theme for years and years and years. But with a short inventory market, it feels like consumers and purchasers really lean on those teams that have a huge presence and means of assistance with moving and handymen and stuff like that. And so closing schedules are a little bit different now than they used to be, to where double moves were pretty common. And now there's so many different platforms and programs that lenders offer that we can get folks into a new home prior to them selling their home without, much difference or fees or anything like that. And so they can kind of get control of that property, do a couple of things to it, move in at their leisure, and then get the old house sold.
Yeah. So is it all about market inventory, and that's why the school year has kind of changed and it's not as, I guess, slow as it used to be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's all inventory, but that's probably the biggest factor. When you're in a balanced market, buyers have the autonomy to kind of choose a little bit more what their preferences are, to where now, if they don't have the ability to do that because, there's just not a lot out there, they have to jump. And I always tell people there's three things. There's money, time, and there's everything else. And it's very difficult to knock out all three of those the way that you want. So if you have the time, then be picky and maintain your standards on money and everything else. But if you don't have the time, you have to flex somewhere else.
You're not a mortgage company, but I'm always interested in timing, and I kind of know the answer. We've talked about it before, but I know people are thinking about it with rumors that the mortgage rates could come down sooner because of the inflation numbers than maybe next spring.
Right.
So do you see more calls or inquiries, or is it really not a factor?
It's been so odd in the rate market, I guess, over the last few years, that I think that those conversations aren't as important because people don't think that rates are as important as they would have previously perceived them to be. But with the new news that came out of September, we might see a drop and there could be 2 or 3 additional before the end of the year. Some of those buyers that are currently looking are going, should I just wait a couple weeks? What if I wait just a couple more weeks? And I tell people all the time, if that's important to you, then wait. My timeline is completely irrelevant to this.
But I believe you've told us before, or maybe Lauren has, that if you find the house that you want at the price you want, the only time is now.
Yeah, or yesterday. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, people say the right time to buy was yesterday. The second best time to buy is today. And it's because the rate can always be modified, especially in a market that is fluctuating. So if you find the perfect house and you have the means to do it, buy it. Because in 6 months, if the rate is lower, you can refi and drop that rate to a more manageable number. But you're gonna see. I always tell people when they're kind of on the fence about this and they see something that they love, secure the property. It's so much more important to secure the property than it is to secure the rate. If you find a house that you love, buy the house. If you have the means to do it, buy the house. There's usually a couple of choice words that are in that sentence, but it's buy the house. And then worry about the rate, as it comes down. We're not going to see 2% again. We're probably not going to see 3s or 4s again. But if the rates drop to 6% next month, there's going to be a wave of people who bought at 7.5 that are going to lock that in. And if they drop again to 5, the same thing's going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So let's talk if the buying selling dynamics change during the school year.
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah, for sure. One, you have less visitors that are seeing properties with you. Which is sometimes nice to not have, the 7 kids. Yeah, which is great. But I think what happens, at least in my experience, is when you don't have the pressure of kids running around and picking their bedrooms and I love this kid, Dad, look at the basement, or Mom, the pool, or whatever it is. You have the ability to really look at a property and be practical about, does this fit my family's needs, as opposed
to even really cross my mind.
Yeah.
I think that Mom and Dad are going to be there looking and not have the entire family.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
You'd be very
guess
surprised,
so.
Especially in houses that tend to have a lot of knickknacks in China. Those are the ones that kids like to go to, apparently.
Oh, that seems so stressful.
It can be. Yeah, it can be. And it's more stressful for them than it is for us because, I have 2 boys and my boys can be crazy too. And so it's always funny when you see parents like, oh, I'm so sorry. And it's like, what are you sorry for? Look at the house.
Yeah.
Like, I'll play with your kids. Like, I got kids. We're good.
But that's a great point, too, because they are worried about the kids. They might not be looking at the things they need to be looking at.
Yeah. And that's not the most uncommon thing anyways for buyers. You'd be surprised how many buyers are looking at furniture or paint colors or appliances or stuff like that. And I'm in a crawl space looking at, the construction of a deck or, looking at the utilities or whatever it is. And that's where picking a professional that is really looking at the home as opposed
to bones.
Yeah, I always tell people focus on the stuff that you can change, and know that can be tweaked, and then focus on the stuff that you can't change, and that's what you should be making your decisions upon.
Yeah,
that's good advice.
So interesting, and I've said this before to Lauren, but not every real estate agent is going to climb into that crawl space and know what they're looking at.
For sure.
But you guys really have done that. And if another agent at Lauren Risley Realty doesn't know exactly what they're looking at, they have you or they have Lauren to come and say, hey, can you look at this for me? Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
Yeah, and it's a super collaborative process, too. I mean, there's things that Jamie's great at that I'm not great at, or Angie or Jordan or Lauren or Jen or any of those. And so we meet constantly. We meet for 2 hours every single Thursday just to talk about the market and talk about each other's deals. We script and practice every single Friday different scenarios that are going on in the current market to make sure that we're well versed to educate our buyers and sellers. And it's not uncommon for someone to send a text to the text thread on the team and say, hey, I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z. Who's dealt with that? Oh, I have. Cool. What do you think?
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you have an experienced team.
No doubt about it.
If something's going on, somebody's dealt with it before.
For sure. And that's the benefit of, being blessed enough to have helped so many families is we've run across just about everything.
Yeah. So what are your 3 tips to somebody who is looking to buy during now the school year?
Yeah, I would say, number 1, know what scenario you are currently working in and don't try to, square peg, round hole it and just say, well, we have to because we have to. If it's an arbitrary thing, that's not a good reason to buy something. So really understand what your position is, and then know where you can leverage that position, either with waiting for time to wait for what you want, or you might have to tweak in some other ways. The other thing is have a professional. Have somebody that is not going to be afraid to go into those crawl spaces, or not going to be afraid to have a difficult conversation with you. It's an emotional thing when you're purchasing a home or selling a home, and it's very easy, if you're not working with a professional, for you to sway that professional and put yourself in a bad position that you don't know you're putting yourself in.
If somebody is buying a house, and let's say they're going to close on it in a month, can their kids start school at that same school district? Do you know?
Yeah, so all different school districts are different.
Okay.
So they do have relocation programs, and some of them you may have to issue a sale contract that says we're going to be moving into this school district. But sometimes what happens is people are moving out of a school district and they want to stay in the same school district. And so you can do that too. Most of the time what happens is those two school districts need to communicate, and they have kind of a satellite relocation program that allows, I see it where one family has someone that's going into 8th grade, and they don't want to start the year in their 8th grader with new friends and all of that stuff. And so they work through those relocation programs that those school districts have, and they will work with you. The challenge that I think people have is they don't go through the proper channels, and then they complain that they didn't get what they want. Where if you just ask the administrative questions, most of the time they want what's best for the kids, and they're gonna work with you.
Do your research, don't assume.
No doubt, and call us. Give us a call or email us and ask those questions, because we've experienced that stuff, and we can at least lead you to the right direction.
Yeah, well, a lot of what we talk about here in just a short amount of time, Adam and Lauren talk about in depth on Call the Closer with Lauren Risley Realty. It airs right here on the Big 550 KTRS Sundays at 1. And if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or as Adam just pointed out, if you have a question, because knowledge is power. Call Lauren Risley Realty 314-775-0684. You can also email her at hello@laurenrisleyrealty.com. Thank you so much, Adam.
Appreciate you guys.
431, Captain Paul, what are you seeing on the roads?
Well, Heidi, I see a stalled vehicle blocking the center lane of westbound 64 at the Boone Bridge, with traffic backed up to Timberlake Manor. Westbound 64 is also congested from Grand to Hampton and from McKnight to Spady. Southbound 270 is crowded from Page down to 64. Eastbound 70 is stop and go from the Dome past the Depressed section. And southbound 55 is heavy and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Just a slim chance for a spot shower into the early evening. Most of us staying dry, and the better chance for that spot rain will be south of St. Louis. As the sun sets, any spot rain would fade. We're dry overnight, low of 71 degrees, a high of 89. Very typical summer day, so it's hot. It's a little bit humid. Heat index to 91. That's very near normal. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy and staying dry for Thursday. Dry again Friday, but hotter. 94, heat index to 98. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, highs in the mid-90s with a heat index around 102 to 103. That's the latest in the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer temps sure put our air conditioners to the test. A few years ago, before I knew about Premier Heating and Cooling, our air conditioner was on its last legs. We decided to push the envelope and try to limp through another St. Louis summer before replacing it. We went away on vacation and came back to discover our air conditioning unit had gone on the fritz while we were gone, and we ended up with all kinds of trouble, including warped wood floors. That delay in replacing our worn-out unit was an expensive mistake. If you're limping through and you know it's time for a replacement unit, our friends at Premier Heating and Cooling can take care of you and even work with you on financing. Or if you haven't taken the time to really get your air conditioner checked out and make sure it's operating at peak efficiency, which will really help on your bills and help with the life of your air conditioning unit, Premier Heating and Cooling is the place to go. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer. This note came in on our text line recently on the Frank and Jill show. You need to know that Ryan Raphael helped me with my senior insurance plan. He was such a gentleman, so helpful, knowledgeable, and kind. I can't thank him enough, and I heard about him on KTRS. I love that text because Ryan Raphael is the Medicare man. He's absolutely the best person to call to help you through the often confusing process of finding the right Medicare plan for you. He loves helping people, walking them through the overwhelm of, I don't know how to choose the best plan for me, or I did choose a plan based on the recommendation of a well-meaning friend or family member, and now I don't think it's actually the right one for me. Ryan Raphael is the best at matching you with a plan that lets you keep your own physicians and keep your prescriptions. It's like having the highest quality consultant on your team. The best news, it's free to you. Under the law, his fees are paid by the insurance companies. Go to MedicareManSTL.com or call 314-368-6808. That's Ryan Raphael's cell phone number just for you.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Early this morning, President Zelensky told President Trump and other European leaders that Vladimir Putin is bluffing on pursuing peace. Shannon Kingston, ABC News State Department correspondent, joins us with the latest. And I'm wondering, how was what he said received?
Well, this call, this virtual summit that was held between President Trump, President Zelensky, and several European leaders actually went over quite well. It does seem, for once at least, that all of these different factions are on the same page as Trump heads into his meeting with Vladimir Putin at the end of the week in Alaska. But yes, Zelensky did have some words of warning for the president, saying that right now, Putin is flexing on the battlefield, doing everything he can to ramp up the war and amass leverage rather than doing what the White House wants to see, which is coming around to at the very least, a short-term ceasefire.
I did see a couple of headlines that said that President Trump told the leaders that he would push Putin for a ceasefire. Is that true?
That is true, and the president himself has said that's what he'll be angling for when he does come head-to-head with Putin. But it's important to note that this is a 180. The White House has spent all week trying to lower expectations. Remember, it was just yesterday that they called this summit with Putin a listening session. Mm-hmm. So this has put considerably more pressure on President Trump to come out of this meeting, this controversial meeting with Putin on American soil, with some deliverables, if not a ceasefire, at least some kind of progress towards peace.
Shannon, I believe I heard the president today sort of hedging a little. He didn't come quite out and say it, but, the thing about, I'll know in a couple of minutes if he's serious and that sort of thing. So I kind of feel like lowered expectations, and it sort of dovetails with what Zelensky is saying. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's see what this guy's going to do. But you got to give it a shot, right?
And that's right. He's gone a little bit up and down with this. He did say that was before that it will just take him 2 minutes to assess whether Putin is serious about reaching peace. But, analysts, long-term officials who have been working with Russia, they say that it's a little more complicated than that Putin is going to come in here with his game face on. He's going to do everything he can to test the president's resolve, trying to distract him really away from his agenda, the president's agenda, by pushing perhaps business proposals, different kinds of deals concerning the Arctic, other interests that Trump has. But President Trump, for his part, has said that he wants to stay laser-focused on setting up a meeting between Putin and Zelensky and perhaps himself so they can hash out the issues at the heart of this conflict. But that, too, is a lofty goal.
Yeah. And Shannon, what about the speak of a land swamp? Did they talk about that at all? And is President Zelensky open to giving up any land at this point?
Well, it seems like President Trump came around to Zelensky's way of seeing things and European leaders' terms, agreeing to the red lines here that if territorial concessions are going to be on the table, that Ukraine needs to be at the table for those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem for now there's kind of a bit of a pause on that. But, it's going to be something that needs to be worked out in the future. And I think all sides agree that if a ceasefire can be reached, that would be enormously productive towards that aim.
And what's the timeline with Putin?
The timeline with Putin is that it's all going to go down on Friday, so officials have about 48 hours more to prepare. We do know that Trump is expected to travel with his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, his special envoy, Steve Witkoff. So they're going to be strategizing behind closed doors up to the very last minute before they head into that summit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and a lot of people will be waiting to see what happens. Shannon Kingston, ABC News State Department correspondent, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. Summer may be winding down, but that means the great weather is moving in. Time to get the convertibles, motorcycles, and sports cars out. We're selling them at a brisk pace. As a result, we need to buy even more of them. You have a very clean, classic, collectible, convertible, sports car, or even an everyday car you want to sell. How about an entire collection? We'll buy it all. And if we're buying them, of course we sell them too. Check out our site for some of the finest hand-picked vehicles for sale in the country. Ours are that good. Give us a look. It'll be worth your time.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. solid as rock.
Appliance Discounters has another showroom, this time on Gravois Road, right next to the little Dairy Queen that's been there for ages. This showroom is different. It's packed with name brands, GE, LG, Bosch, that are slightly dinged, one-of-a-kind, or closeout items direct from the manufacturer. They all come with the factory warranties and all the factory rebates. You want huge savings at big discounts, theappliancediscounters.com. To find the one nearest you, including the one on Gravois Road in Afton, theappliancediscounters.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watch Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top-notch. She doesn't just know the market, she knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to laurenrisleyrealty.com.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have 2 locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
We'll talk movies with Max Foisey tomorrow at 3:30, but I saw a list of the most inspirational movies of all time, and I've got 2 movie gurus in here with me, Bob and Connor, and I'm wondering what comes to the top of the list for you guys.
Inspirational.
Yeah, and on this, it says League of Their Own, and I guess that's inspirational. That wasn't something that immediately came to mind. I think
I would say for women.
Yeah, because you got to see them take their chance. I was also thinking like, Little Miss Sunshine. Do you remember that movie?
I
where
do.
She,
yeah.
Let's
see. Inspiration. What else is on
probably
there?
Hidden Figures. I thought that was a fantastic
call.
as far as
Is that on the list?
that goes. It is on the list. Rudy,
No,
not going to be on the list.
it was fake. It was all
So
fake.
that's your qualm with it.
Yeah.
That it's not close enough to the real story.
I had the opportunity to meet Rudy.
Really?
And hung out with him one afternoon. And he enjoyed the movie and the fame and all that. But he said the thing that turned him into kind of a man instead of being, a slappy is the Navy. He went in the Navy before. He tried to get into Notre Dame, then went in the Navy, then came back and went back. And that's when all the Rudy on the field stuff. And he goes, the United States Navy made a man out of him. And so they missed the whole point of his life.
Was that even included at all?
No, not at all.
That's not the point of the story, though.
But
the Navy doesn't make you a better football player or a better, better on the field.
Well, see, my whole thing was, why didn't he do his homework?
Well,
and maybe he would have got into school.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
that is
interesting. It was a well-made film. It was a well-made film.
Well, and that's kind of the same thing with The Blind Side. Like, it's inspirational, but now when you hear all of the rumblings about how much of it was true and not true, when it was depicted as a true story, like it's one thing if you when you say based on a true story, but I thought that was a great one at the time.
Yeah. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah. Connor, what's inspirational for you?
I figured most of the list would be sports
I
movies.
did too, but it's not.
It's not. How about Pursuit of Happiness? Is that on there with Will Smith when he's
No, but I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen that movie?
Yeah,
Is that the one where he's where he's trying to find a job?
He's trying to find a job, and
that's
he's
a good
in San
call.
Francisco. Yeah,
that's a really good call.
Okay, I need to see that. That is a good one. Rocky, of course, is on the list because that's a fun, inspirational movie. But the other ones are a little interesting. Forrest Gump.
Is that inspirational?
No.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't-
I guess like he lives a good life.
Yeah. Aaron Brockovich is on this list. I don't know that I would call
Okay.
it. I mean, I guess inspirational in finally getting some answers,
Yeah,
but I
it
guess it's
inspires you to
do something.
To achieve
maybe.
and work hard.
So
Okay, I'll give it a
think
pass.
it's maybe it's looking at inspiration a little bit differently than just winning the final, you know,
Yeah.
game.
I mean, otherwise, it would just be like Hoosiers
Exactly.
and all these other movies.
Which there's nothing wrong with Hoosiers in my book. I think it's a pretty good
I know
one.
I'm talking to two big Hoosiers fans here.
You don't
but
like the movie.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just I wouldn't put it on my top sports list.
Yeah.
You know, there's an interesting take. I'm not saying I buy into it, but I've seen this take where Jimmy Chitwood, really was a selfish son of a gun.
Oh.
That he's going to hold everybody up to get his way.
You know what?
Either come out for the team or don't.
I hadn't thought of that, but you're kind of right.
Yeah.
You're kind of right, Bob.
And I didn't come up with that, but I read it and I'm going, this is an interesting take.
Yes, interesting.
Apollo 13, somebody says on the text line.
You know what? I
which-
like that one, actually.
Yeah.
'Cause It's like a very inspiring, true story about getting them back.
And Kurt Russell in the hockey movie during the Olympics, which is
That miracle.
Yeah.
That is really inspiring. I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
But what's hard to find, though, as you pointed out, hidden figures and things that aren't sports movies that still inspire you.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the many reasons we love movies,
Yes.
right? I mean, it is to move you in some sort of way, and some of them are inspirational. Coming up at 5:10, we're going to talk to a woman who is with TEDx St. Louis, and that's exactly what they're doing. It's inspiration. It's kind of getting you to light a fire, maybe, but that's coming up. Right now, though, we need to check in with Captain Paul, find out what the roads are looking like.
Heidi, eastbound 64 is heavy from 14th Street across the Poplar Street Bridge to Illinois Route 3 North. Westbound 64 is also congested from Boyle to Hampton and from 170 to Lindbergh, from Clarkson to the Boone Bridge. Southbound 270 is crowded from Page down to Manchester. Eastbound 270 is heavy from 367 to the Chain of Rocks Bridge. Eastbound 70 is busy from the Dome past the depressed section. And southbound 55 is heavy and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialists. Replacing your HVAC system is going to be a hassle. That's a myth. Get a $300 Aldon rebate off a new Daikin Fit furnace and pay as little as $273 per month. Plus, receive additional utility rebates if eligible. Visit al-don.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Here's the other thing about inspiration. Sometimes you'll go to a friend's house, or maybe you're at a restaurant and you get inspiration for something you want to do at your own home. Here's the good news. Dalco Home Remodeling can make that happen. If you want to redo your bathroom, whether it's a powder room or a guest bathroom, or maybe it's your primary bathroom, Dalco Home Remodeling can take it down to the studs and redo and create whatever it is that you're looking for. Want more of a spa feeling? They can do that. Or maybe you've seen a really cool front door and you're like, oh, that would change the entire look of our house. Dalco Home Remodeling can help you with that. They can actually help you with sliding doors and French doors as well. They do windows, they do roofs, they do siding. So if you're wanting to make a change at your home, or maybe you need to make a change, if the roof is old or the siding is starting to kind of pull away, call Dalco Home Remodeling, 314-648-8113, or go online to dalcohomeremodeling.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Everybody loves good barbecue, and everybody wants to know where the next great barbecue place is. And if you're looking for an overnight sensation, it's only taken them 10 years. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery, Woods Mill and Clayton Road. There is a gas station, West County Phillips 66 gas station. In that gas station, in the back, for 10 years, some of the best barbecue in town. Bring a friend and spread the word. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Don't forget about the bakery. 3baybarbecueandbakery.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Cardinals are right at 500. I think they're 61-61 after a bottom of the ninth 2-run home run loss. I guess that was the top of the ninth, not the bottom. Brendan Weesey is here to talk about the real chances of them getting that wild card in the National League.
Not good.
I mean, and today it probably is even less after that. I mean, we got the win last night, which really wasn't pretty, and then today another loss.
Just brutal to drop 2 of 3 to this team. They could go on
2 times.
Right, exactly. Lose to this team in St. Louis, in Colorado, the way that they did, they're going to probably go on to be a historically bad team at the end of the season for the Colorado Rockies, and the Cardinals will have dropped 2 series to this ball club.
And what's really weird about the Cardinals and just baseball, it's how baseball go, right? And that is you take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers and the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then you come in here and they take 2 out of 3 from you.
And maybe today is that first day where the chickens come home to roost a little bit with all the moves you made in the bullpen. I mean, let's be honest. You trade 3 of your 3 best bullpen arms. You trade away. And I know Jojo Romero will get some hate today. He gives up the home run that puts the Rockies on top. He also struck out the side.
He's been good.
He has been really good. And I don't want to lob a ton of blame. It's an unfortunate series of events for him today. It was actually looking like a decent enough performance. McGreevy was solid. It's a quality start.
Except can't go deep enough. And when you have too many starters doing that, there's the stress on the bullpen.
I mean, he went 6. By today's, I get what you're saying, but by today's standards, 6 innings, 3 runs, that's sort of, it's the bar. It's not an overly high bar, but he met it today.
No, he was okay, and I'm a McGreevy guy. You know that.
I know that, yeah. Just a tough one. Tough one for the Cardinals that led this game 5-2. And yes, the playoff hopes continue to dwindle after losses like today.
Yeah, what's coming up tonight? Something happier?
Well, we'll see. A couple things. One, we're going to discuss some of the latest news when it comes to the legalization of sports betting in the state. There's a lot of news in the last week about some things.
Are we closer to actually being
still,
able to do it?
December 1 is the date. That's not going to change. It could have been like we probably should have been talking right now about things going live like in the next week or so. It didn't work out that way. Politicians need to do their thing, and that's why we're delayed. But there are licensing that looks like they're the 2 big companies, DraftKings, FanDuel, could get their licenses this week. We'll talk to our guy Ryan Butler, who's been on the forefront of this from the get-go tonight, and sort of a deep dive on what's coming and what to expect. And I think some questions that folks that I don't want to say oppose this, but maybe there are people that aren't crazy about it and have questions about what's going to be done to what are the guardrails for folks that you want to make sure. Yeah, so we'll do that in the 7 o'clock hour. Eli Hoff with me in the 8 to expound on what we talked about earlier this week, the changes on Mizzou's offensive line. Caden Green moving over to left tackle. That means the shakeup, it continues, and we'll try to break all that down in the 8 o'clock hour tonight.
All right, we'll be listening. Thanks, Brendan.
Heidi Rammer, thank you.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
News, weather, traffic, sports, and live local talk. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Ladue, Glen Carbon, University City, Edwardsville, Manchester, Wood River, Grafton, Collinsville, Pacific, and the world.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Ahead of Friday's face-to-face meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin, President Trump held a virtual call with Ukraine's President Zelensky and European leaders. The president says it was a good call, and he's vowed there will be severe consequences if Putin doesn't agree to end the war. At the same time, the White House called this first meeting a listening exercise for the president. Zelensky is not included in Friday's meeting, but could be part of a trilateral summit later.
We'll have a quick second one. I would like to do it almost immediately. And we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself if they'd like to have me there.
Russia has indicated it wants Ukraine to give up territory. Zelensky and European leaders are demanding an immediate end to the war and security guarantees. A Breeze Airways flight diverted to Colorado today. The airline says due to a physical altercation between a passenger and other flight attendants and people on board. The flight left Norfolk, Virginia, and was bound for Los Angeles. The pilot's call to air traffic control captured on ATC describes how the unruly passenger broke out of his restraints at one point.
They're calling it a level 4 disturbance now. They said they had him restrained. He broke out, and there's passengers holding him down now.
The FAA is investigating. In Alaska, record floodwaters released by the Mendenhall Glacier are impacting the river flowing through Juneau. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
In Alaska, the governor announcing a state disaster declaration, ordering evacuations near Juneau over concerns that Mendenhall Glacier melt could cause dangerous flooding. Officials saying the flood reached a crest of 16.65 feet. A record.
There are no immediate reports of damage. Severe heat still taxing both the east and west coasts, and in the Midwest and South, volatile storms have triggered flooding. 4 people died in Chattanooga, Tennessee due to heavy rain and flooding, and alerts remain in place for tonight. You're listening to ABC News.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. A teenager has died from a farming accident in Macoupin County. Verdon, Illinois police say 16-year-old Nolan Keel was operating farm equipment on Verdon Road when the accident happened yesterday morning. Keel was pronounced dead at the scene. A Warren County woman is accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from the fast food restaurant where she worked. The owner of a McDonald's franchise in Wright City reported employee Heather Brand had stolen cash from the restaurant. Brand was arrested in the parking lot with $6,000 in a bag. The McDonald's owner says a total of $52,000 is missing from July alone. Brand is charged with stealing $25,000 or more and resisting arrest. Brand bonded out of jail and has a court hearing scheduled for Friday, September 19th. A 14-year-old girl is recovering after an accidental shooting in St. Louis. Police say kids were playing with a gun late yesterday afternoon in the 5800 block of Cabanne when the girl was shot in the arm. A 15-year-old was taken into custody. A more comprehensive review of prospective law enforcement officers prior to hiring will be required under a new Illinois law spearheaded by State Senator Doris Turner. This is in response to the shooting death of Sonia Massey. Turner joined Governor J.B. Pritzker, members of the Massey family, and state and local leaders at the bill signing.
It requires law enforcement agencies to conduct a more comprehensive review of a prospective officer's past employment to ensure his or her physical and psychological fitness for duty as a police officer before making an offer of employment. If that would have happened with Sean Grayson, Sonia would still be here with us today.
The new law will take effect in Illinois on January 1st, 2026. St. Louis experienced another round of flash flooding. Officials say 2 to 3 inches of rain fell yesterday afternoon, flooding roadways and basements. Problems were reported at Choteau and South Tucker, Market and Compton, and Vandeventer in front of IKEA. A giant sinkhole in the parking lot has forced the temporary closing of Pappy's Smokehouse near the campus of St. Louis University. Pappy's will be closed today and tomorrow. Pappy's co-founder John Matthews says the business will likely be closed even longer due to flooding from Tuesday afternoon's heavy rain. This comes just a week after Pappy's was forced to close for 2 days because of a water main break. Dates for this year's Battle of the Bands charity competition have been announced. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The free 4-week music competition will take place every Wednesday night in September at the Hub St. Louis, a 40,000-square-foot outdoor space located at the District in Chesterfield. Organizers say 10 bands will compete over the first 3 weeks beginning September 3rd, with finalists taking the stage September 24th. Admission for the public is free, but audience members can buy $5 voting tickets to support their favorite band, with proceeds going directly to that night's featured charity. Those charities change every year, but this year, they're Friends of Kids with Cancer, Chad's Coalition for Mental Health, and the Walk to End Alzheimer's. The Battle of the Bands raised almost $10,000 for last year's charities. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Big day on Wall Street. Dow Jones closed up 463 points to finish at 44,922. S&P 500 up 20 to finish at 6,466. The NASDAQ closed up 31 points to close at 21,713. Now let's get a check of sports and traffic from Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe, the Cardinals fell to Colorado 6-5 today at Busch, dropping 2 of 3 in the series. It's the second time in 3 weeks the Birds have lost a series to the Rockies, who have the worst record in baseball. And Mizzou transfer linebacker Josiah Trotter is on the Lombardi Award watch list. The Lombardi Award is presented to college football's best lineman or linebacker at the end of the season. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. Eastbound 64 is heavy from 14th Street across the Poplar Street Bridge to Illinois Route 3 North. Westbound 64 is congested in patches from Kings Highway to Lindbergh and from Timberlake Manor to Long. Southbound 270 is crowded from Page down to Manchester. Eastbound 270 is heavy from 367 across the Chain of Rocks Bridge to near Illinois Route 3. Eastbound 44 is running slow from Kings Highway to the Poplar Street Bridge. And southbound 55 is heavy and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight, cloudy with showers possible, an overnight low of 70. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high of 90. Currently, it is 87 degrees at 5:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
There is a fun, innovative event happening next month that's going to be big. TEDx St. Louis is hosting its 25th event. Mitch Hancock is the director of programming. She's joining us to tell us more. It is always so good to see you. You just kind of fill every room you step into with like light and love, and it's fantastic.
Thank you, Heidi. It's wonderful to be here.
I think a lot of people have heard of or maybe watched a TED Talk. Will you explain the difference between TED and TEDx?
Absolutely. So TED, which stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design.
Okay.
It began about 40 years ago.
40?
And yeah, I mean, that long ago. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. I would have said 20 years ago or 15 years ago.
No, it's been with us for quite a while.
Okay.
And at one point, they put these talks on this new thing called YouTube, and it went viral, and they thought, okay, we've really got something here. So why don't we begin to license folks out there to bring it to their own hometown? So TEDx, X stands for independently organized. So I have the license from TED to do TEDx St. Louis. Yay.
And so is it all inspirational speeches? Is it motivation? How do you describe what you guys do?
I would say that, though our talks are inspiring and are motivating, the real driving force behind each talk is one big idea. And you probably, if you've heard of TED Talks, it used to be ideas worth spreading was sort of the tagline. Now it's ideas change everything. So what we're looking for is that idea that makes people, perk up and pay attention and go, I never thought of this before, or wait, this is something really different. And that's what every event does. I mean, you get to see all these talks that really are like a playground for your brain and your heart.
I don't know if it was 8 or 9 years ago, but I had the fantastic opportunity to kind of MC one of these. And at the time, she wasn't Mayor Jones. It was when Tashara Jones was part of the speakers on stage. And she talked about generational wealth.
Yes.
Or the lack thereof. And it opened my mind in a way I had never thought. And that's what you're talking about.
Yes. And it's so interesting how the audience members, they'll come for one talk. They'll be like, oh, I'm here to hear this talk. But they are always surprised about the other talks they thought that they would have no interest in whatsoever. And it sparked something in them. And the idea is we want you to leave and go talk about it. Right?
So what, tell me about because I've never been, not really aware. Tell me about the presentation. You mentioned multiple talks. Is it all day? Is it all weekend? And how does that work? And what does a presentation look like?
Sure. For this event, so we're going to open our doors at 2:00 for our supporters and super supporters, and we will have a pre-event that we're doing in collaboration with Coca Biz called Leading Ladies.
Oh.
Then from 3 until 5 are the talks. So it's it's like going to a movie, a
Yeah.
couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then from 5 to 6, we're going to have Innovation Alley, where we will be featuring some past speakers and catch up with them and find out what they're doing.
Yeah.
The talks themselves, a TED Talk is 18 minutes or less. We actually put it at 10 to 12 minutes because we're watching clicks and, where's the attention spans going, right?
Right.
But when you think about creating a talk about a big idea in that small amount of time, it really is, it takes a great commitment from our speakers to put in the time to make that impactful tiny talk that has, is going to make everybody with the big impact, like I said. So it's a cool exercise to watch them go through it. It's a lot of work.
Well, we're talking to Mish Hancock, who is the director of program at TEDx St. Louis. And I want to point out that these speakers are curated. So what do you look for in a speaker?
Sure. So first, we want you to be the expert in what, are you the person to talk about this topic? Then, of course, we want the big idea. We get people that come to us with ideas and we're like, heard that one before. How can you take this idea and do something really different with it? We get our speakers 2 different ways. We do hold auditions every year. So we'll do a call for submissions in January. From those, we will pick about 25 and ask them to come in and audition for us. And then we also are curating at the same time. We read about people in our area that are doing something interesting. And when I say our area, I mean it. We are different than other TEDx's in that we only draw from our area because we love St. Louis and we want to put St. Louis on the global stage.
This is fantastic. And the 25th event coming up Friday, September 5th, this is a women's event. Who will be taking the stage and what are some of the topics?
I'll be happy to share with you. We've got some amazing things. So we have Dale Chambers, who is a healer farmer.
What is that?
Doesn't that alone just make you want to go listen? Right?
I want to know more.
Right. And so Dale is so interesting. During COVID, Dale looked around the neighborhood and thought, what can make my neighbors more happy, healthy, and resilient? And surveyed her neighbors to find out. And then went around and started planting trees and planting medicines that, can be used for health. And fantastic. So we've got Dale Chambers, we've got Emily Hemingway, Tech St. Louis. Emily is just a force when it comes to the future of technology. Lindsay Hermes, now she is the president of Biospan Technologies, and they have an eco-friendly material for roads and infrastructure. So think about, I'm going to fill potholes with something that came from soybeans.
How about that?
Really? Doesn't that sound like a fabulous idea?
It does.
I love it. Chris Kleindienst, who is the owner of Left Bank Books. I mean,
Yes.
that's a well-loved bookstore. And Chris you're going to think of bookstores in a whole different way after you hear this talk. And then we also have Mary Lammy. She is going to talk about the future of transportation. So did you guys know that St. Louis, because of the infrastructure we have with all of the railways and the highways and everything that comes in here, we feed a lot of people. The agriculture that comes from here and spans out, it would be bad if we didn't have what we had. And it's amazing all of the different entities that need to collaborate to make that happen. What an amazing story. People that collaborate together and want to work
and
for the
get
common
things
good.
done.
Let's talk about that. And then our entertainment is going to be Volume Speaks. And Volume Speaks is a multi-instrumentalist audio engineer, and she won Champions Battle with St. Louis's Fresh Produce Beat Battle. So she's going to be on stage with the Coolio Beats.
See, it is going to be so much fun. And you kind of alluded to this, but the idea here is to spark more conversation about each of these topics, to take it away, and then maybe at happy hour, start talking about it with neighbors or friends.
Exactly. I mean, if you want to be super interesting, go and watch some TED Talks.
Yeah.
And then talk about it later, because if you're a curious person, which I'm huge curiosity, and so I believe, in fact, I know this is why I do what I do, because I get to see the most amazing people in St. Louis that are doing these things that I didn't even know you would think of to do.
Right.
Right? And it's like, wow, you thought of that? And then you went out and did, this is amazing. Do you want to talk about it on a stage? From the red rug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one event. How many events does TEDx St. Louis do a year?
So we have landed upon where we're doing 2 a year.
Okay.
We do one in May, which is at the Missouri History Museum. In fact, our next one for 2026 will be May 30th. And then we do the women's event, usually September, October. Next year, it's looking like October.
Got it. Well, it is going to be a fabulous event. TEDx St. Louis is celebrating its 25th event Friday, September 5th at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center. You can learn more, purchase tickets online at tedxstlouis.org. And Saint is spelled out, so make sure that you do that. Anything else that people need to know?
No, just come buy your tickets and hang out with us, and let's all be super smart together.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you so much, Mitch.
Thank you.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Did you recently change jobs? Don't forget about your old 401k. Leaving it behind could mean missed growth, unnecessary fees, or tax headaches down the road. Should you leave it where it is, roll it into a new plan, cash it out, or even move it to an IRA? Each option has long-term consequences. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you make smart decisions about your retirement savings. Visit PioneerWealthMGMT.com to schedule your personalized retirement review.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Creative One Wealth and Pioneer Wealth Management are not affiliated companies. Licensed insurance professionals. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
You know, over the years, Lordo's has become part of the family for many, many St. Louis families. For 80 years, they've been helping St. Louis families with all of the jewelry needs, whether it's the diamond ring, a diamond ring, maybe something for St. Patrick's Day, something for an anniversary, Valentine's Day. Throughout the years and throughout the calendar, it's Lordo's as your go-to. Whether it's men or women, you want to repurpose something or buy something new, Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. You see, it's a family business. The family's been running it for years, and they learned it from their father, who learned it from their father. And so that family jeweler is where generations of St. Louisans go. Grandparents have gone there. Your grandkids will go there. Right there in Ladue on Clayton Road, across the street from a Norman Rockwell-esque firehouse, is Lordo's Diamonds. Go in, make a friend, and make them your family jeweler, because you can thank me later. 314-432-8008 or online, lordosdiamonds.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have two locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple of screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Couple people still weighing in on the Woods Basement Systems text line about most inspirational movies. Casablanca, when everyone stands up to the Nazis and sing the French national anthem, is so inspiring.
That scene, it almost brings you to tears every time.
They said, I'm not French, and I'm still so very inspired. Somebody else said A Perfect Mind, which was probably a great one. And then this is kind of funny. I took a much younger date to Apollo 13. When she started crying, I had to let her know that I was alive back then. And they do get back safely. It's just kind
That's pretty good.
Funny. Speaking of time, the eastern half of the U.S. are kind of feeling like us here in the Midwest, having the muggiest summer since, get this, Cabbage Patch Kids were all the rage. CD players were how we listen to music. Rollerblade inline skates were the thing. And ciabatta bread was first baked. We're talking, this is the muggiest summer since 1981 for them. So welcome to our world is what I would like to say as far as that goes.
I always thought, and I guess the facts don't bear it out, but I always thought of New York being hot and sticky in the summer.
Yeah.
But obviously nothing compared to here.
No, I don't think so either. This is interesting, too. I think it's always fun when people can, make light of a really tough situation. Of course, I'm talking about obituaries when you've lost somebody that you love, but a son's unconventional obit for his mom has gone viral. So Jennifer, as she was known, Jenny, and Kelly's son made headlines after writing this death notice for his late mom, and it was published, I guess, in the Sydney Morning Herald. The obit, including telling people to bring a shovel while talking about what's next following their mother's death. So this is an Australian family, obviously, and Sean insisted the family refused to say past and referenced Jenny's love of drinking champagne and gin, among other facts. So I wanted to read part of this. Farewell, Jenny Kelly, born the 15th of May, 1936. Our wild and wayward mother died on the 28th of October. She refused to say past. We spend most of our lives compensating for our upbringing. We believe that exposing youth to religion was a form of child abuse. It was impossible to watch the news in her presence due to her vocal outrage at the way the country is run. She held John Howard in particular contempt. Mom grew great dope, never wanted to leave a party, and gave up champagne or gin frequently, but never simultaneously. Her rare attempts at responsible parenting or grandparenting were always touching. She said Sean was a better driver than Chris. News on what's next to follow, bring a shovel. Which, I mean, when you can do that, I think it's kind of fun.
Well, you can really represent the person that you've lost.
Yeah, and instead of just all the mushy stuff, get in a little dirt every once in a while. Did you see this crazy story? Amazon apparently kept sending a woman hundreds of fake leather seat covers. We're talking so many she could not fit them in her garage. Hundreds of them over the past year, and they all contained the same thing. So she has all these big boxes of oversized fake leather car seat covers made in China. They're scattered all over her property, and she has called multiple times. She's refused delivery on hundreds more, complained to Amazon. They kind of gave her the runaround. They promised the deliveries would stop. They haven't. They told her just to dispose of the boxes herself or donate them, but the woman said she can't afford to do that, and no charity wants hundreds of fake leather seat covers. So she contacted the local news. They looked into it, and it turns out that this seller was in China, and they randomly put her address on the return address.
What?
And so I guess that way they wouldn't have to pay for these larger boxes to go back overseas. And once the woman's story was aired on the news, Amazon finally sent a truck to her house to pick up all the boxes and is supposedly taking care of the issue so she doesn't receive any more. But doesn't that sound like a nightmare?
That's
Like,
crazy.
What would you do if they just kept showing up? I don't know.
I don't know.
Have you ever gotten a package that wasn't addressed to you, or like one of your immediate neighbors? You know, a complete
No.
wrong address.
I have not.
Oh. I don't think
so.
A piece of
Never.
mail, yes.
Did you open it?
No. But
You can admit to mail fraud.
no, I will not admit to that here. But not a package. You have?
Yeah, I got one once, and I didn't open it because it didn't seem like it had anything good in it.
Did you shake it?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I kind of
say,
gave it a little shake to see, if there was.
It didn't look
it
like
didn't
some
look that
gaming
enticing.
system.
So I just got in touch. I think it was a Amazon. I'm forgetting which. It was Amazon, and I just got in touch with them, and I said, "Hey, you guys sent me this. Clearly, it's not for me. It's not even the same. I think it was Missouri, but it wasn't anywhere nearby." And they said, "All right, just go ahead and just dispose of it." And they were just going to send a new one.
Did you open it to see what it was?
I still didn't
You
open it. I just
didn't?
threw it away. I should have opened it, but I didn't.
I think if they said dispose of it, I would have opened it.
Yeah, I
To
think
see
I
what
would
it
have too.
Wasn't
was.
anything too important in there.
Yeah.
And maybe they just can't say take it. So they're saying
Right.
go ahead and throw it out.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is interesting.
They just I guess that was their policy for a while. Did you ever return something on Amazon and they said just keep
Yes.
it and we'll give you the money?
I bought
Bob,
a,
you didn't see that. You didn't
No.
get in on that for a while, but for a while that
for
was
a
the
while.
case.
And I had purchased it was a soap dispenser that had batteries and you could, the foam would come out and it was chipped. Like it wasn't, I didn't, and they're like, yeah, just keep that. Don't send it back.
Just keep it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Sure enough. That's
so
what we did.
I don't know if I'm gonna. Probably this is why they stopped it. But for a while, I just returned every Amazon thing, or said I wanted to see if they would.
And they did.
Tell me to keep it.
And what
Not
percentage?
every time, but some of the time.
Mhm.
They all right, we'll just keep it.
Wow.
I was like, well, all right.
Sure enough.
They repaired the loophole. Thanks
Yeah,
to you.
now-
Thanks to you. You really
well,
helped them.
thanks to some
Testing
others,
it out.
probably. Yeah, I don't know. Now you have to actually return things.
Yeah, you do. But thankfully, it's fairly easy. It is 5:29. We need to get another check of traffic. And for that, we go to the KTRS Traffic Center and Captain Paul.
Heidi, eastbound 64 is heavy from the Poplar Street Bridge to Illinois Route 3 north. Westbound 64 is congested in front of Forest Park. Also from 170 to Lindbergh and from Timberlake Manor to Chesterfield Airport Road. Southbound 270 is crowded from north of Olive down to Manchester. Westbound 70 is busy at the airport. And southbound 55 is heavy from Gasconade to South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
So happy that I can say that I'm going to pick up the RV tomorrow morning from Byerly RV because that's where I store it. And what's so great is this is how it works. About 48 hours prior, you call up Byerly RV, hit the button for the storage department, and then tell them what you need, and the RV will be pulled up, ready to go. They ask if you want it plugged in so it can cool off, or do you need it to be filled with propane, or do you want us to check the tire? All of that is taken care of. It is, fantastic service. But what's so cool about Byerly is they've got you covered from purchase all the way through your RV journeys. When it comes to purchasing, they have more than 30 brands of new RVs in stock, and I'm talking anything that you can possibly imagine. And RVs are, they're little homes on wheels, but they even have more kind of electronics than your home now. They've got USB ports beside the bed. They've got USB ports next to the couch if you want that, up by the driver. So, they make everything so easy. But then, as I mentioned, they have the storage facility. They have a bay that is just same-day RV service. So if you happen to be passing through St. Louis, which that's unheard of, they hardly ever have that. They have RV maintenance. They have recommended maintenance so you don't get behind on that. And then they even have an RV body shop, which again is something that you don't see very often. So they can really take care of all of your needs. And with experiences in the RV industry, they really have the skills and expertise to handle any type of repair or renovation. So if you have an RV, if you've maybe purchased an older RV, check out Byerly RV if you want to do an upgrade or if you want to have something kind of tweaked a little bit. And of course, if you don't have one and you've always wanted one, Byerly RV has you covered there as well. And the salespeople can walk you through it, I mean, so perfectly, because maybe you're not sure what you can tow with the car or truck that you currently have. The sales department there at Byerly knows exactly what you can tow, and they'll lead you to those options as far as that goes. Or maybe, you're not sure that you want to go to state parks or national parks, and what do you need? They can help you out with that as well. Wherever you want to go, Byerly RV has you covered, so you can just start making those memories. ByerlyRV.com is the website, or swing by the dealership there in Eureka. They're at 109 and 44.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
First alert for Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Just a slim chance for a spot shower into the early evening. Most of us staying dry, and the better chance for that spot rain will be south of St. Louis. As the sun sets, any spot rain would fade. We're dry overnight, low of 71 degrees, a high of 89. Very typical summer day, so it's hot. It's a little bit humid. Heat index to 91. That's very near normal. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy and staying dry for Thursday. Dry again Friday, but hotter. 94, heat index to 98. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, highs in the mid-90s with a heat index around 102 to 103. That's the latest in the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Hey Illinois, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry St. Louis, this message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
All right, so you're looking for a new front door, maybe to change the style up a little bit. Maybe you've got some windows that are leaking and aren't very energy efficient, and you'd like to get some new ones. And so you start looking for a window company. Let me tell you about my friend and my neighbor, Larry Thornton from the Window Store. He's been selling windows and doors in St. Louis for 37 years. He has access to all the quality windows and all the quality doors. And unlike so many other window companies, it's not a marketing game. Buy one, get the next 7 free. At the Window Store, you buy one window, you get one window. But when you compare apples to apples, right, you'll notice that the Window Store has much better pricing. There is no hard sell. They're not going to stand in the middle of your living room demanding you sign on the dotted line. For 37 years, they've beat everybody on quality, on price, on customer service. If you need windows or doors, that's why you need to call my neighbor, Larry, or his son, Joe, 314-739-0002 or WSWindow.net.
You're finally ready to renovate your home. Riverbend Kitchen and More is your BBB accredited project partner that is attentive and responsive to your vision from concept to completion. Riverbend specializes in kitchens and baths, but also bars, bookcases, cabinetry, countertops, and more. They work with homeowners, contractors, and developers. Proud supplier of Waypoint Living Spaces cabinets, as well as other quality cabinetry lines. Financing is available, conveniently located in Soulard, Alton, and Mascoutah. Call 314-314-7411. Online at riverbendkm.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk some entertainment news. Connor, you mentioned it was 43 years ago in 1982 that Fast Times at Ridgemont High was released. It was 52 years ago in 1973, Lynyrd Skynyrd released their self-titled debut album featuring Gimme 3 Steps, Simple Man, and Freebird.
A big deal back then. Big deal, baby.
President Trump announced the recipients of the 2025 Kennedy Center honors earlier today, and they include Sylvester Stallone, Kiss, Gloria Gaynor, George Strait, and Michael Crawford. He's the guy who originated the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. The December awards ceremony will be hosted by President Trump, and the president also alluded to wanting an honor of his own and suggested that he might give himself one in 2026.
Boy, that group is pretty eclectic.
It
group.
is a very interesting group.
He's a big
yeah.
Phantom of the Opera fan.
Yes, he is.
I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
He was always talking about
and
it.
he said that Michael Crawford, one of the most talented people he's
And
ever
he's kind of like
met.
McGraw. He's a big fan of theater and musical theater.
Which is kind of surprising
I don't know
to
how
me.
many other similarities Trump and McGraw have,
Yeah, but there's one.
There's one.
Travis Kelce told GQ that he loves learning about Taylor Swift's job and she loves learning about his. He says the two of them are just like any normal couple. Of course, they aren't. Sitting around at dinner, talking about their work day and being each other's sidekick. He says that he loves learning about music, choreography, and art, and he did admit that he made her a football fan, but he said that she has now become a totally engulfed fan. She knows what the injury report looks like. She understands what special situations are, like a 3rd and short, and she loves to hear about football, which I think is kind of fun. He said they did bond over fame and athleticism. He explained that he hadn't experienced somebody in the same shoes as him, having a partner who understands the scrutiny, the ups and downs of being in front of millions. And he said it was very relatable. And he said also, seeing how exhausted she would get after shows, she might not think of herself as an athlete, but I've seen what she goes through, the amount of work that she puts on her body, and it's mind-blowing. Don't forget, she'll be on the Kelsey Brothers podcast, New Heights, tonight.
While they do obviously have different jobs, stress relative to performance is big in both, and so I can see why they can relate to that.
Absolutely. And I love that they just show up for each other, because I think that's part of, a relationship working, is being there. NBC will air a Downton Abbey primetime special next month to celebrate the release of the final film, the grand finale, which I'll be front and center for that. Kevin Hart is teaming up with Netflix for a new competition series to find the next big stand-up comic. He'll be joined by a group of comics who will be announced at a later date, and Netflix says the contestants will, quote, face rigorous tests that mirror the real-life journey of a comedian, from brutal open mics to bomb sets and rewrites to the pressure of a big stage performance.
So I was going to be critical before you got to that last paragraph. Don't we already have Last Comic Standing?
Yes.
But this is different.
It is.
It's going to be interesting, maybe.
Yeah, and the competition will kind of give viewers an unvarnished look at comedy's darkest corners and the brightest spotlights, with challenges inspired some of comics' actual career trajectories. I think it could be interesting, because I do think it is one of the toughest jobs on the planet, but when somebody does it well, it is
so good.
So good.
You know what I wish you could replicate, but you can't, because that's how that skill, art, whatever you want to call it, works. When you hear comics talking about after shows, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're all at a bar or restaurant together and just talking about what they do and how and why they do it. That's why I like the Seinfeld comedians in cars drinking coffee. Them talking about what they do. I think that would be fascinating.
And I just love hearing the origin of a joke.
Yeah.
Where were they? Were they on an airplane and it is on a napkin somewhere? What triggered it? I do love that, and about a song too. I love kind of getting that story from that. I'm anxious to see the TV show that's going to be on CBS. I forget what it's called, but Keith Urban is part of it, but it's going to be, unlike The Voice, you've got some aspiring musicians, and they're going to try to tackle the road with Keith Urban and open up for him and what the being on the road truly looks like.
That will be interesting.
Because I think that's something that, I mean, for me, I've always thought, oh, it'd be cool to be on the road. But it's hard work and waking up in a different city. And I think that'll be an interesting one. Hallmark is teaming up with the Grand Ole Opry for a brand new holiday movie called A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. It'll premiere during Hallmark Channel's 16th annual Countdown to Christmas. It's rare for a song to be perfect in one take. Sometimes vocals have to be re-recorded or maybe the instrumental, but UltimateClassicRock.com put together a list of some popular rock songs and how many takes it took to record what you and I hear. So here are a few of the highlights. Refugee by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
100 takes.
Oh, my gosh.
It doesn't elaborate on what they were trying to redo. This is crazy. Creep by Radiohead, which I feel like is one of those songs that has been redone by everybody, and I love every version of it. One take. They hit it.
Get out.
Nailed it. That's it. Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana, 3 takes. Start Me Up, the Rolling Stones, 38. And I'd love to know, who was doing what when they had to do it. Working Class Hero, John Lennon, 120 to 130
No
takes.
way.
Which just sounds crazy. The Police did Every Breath You Take in 1, which is shocking. And then
I agree.
All Along the Watchtower, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, 27.
That's a great song. I've got one for you that's not on that list.
Yeah, tell me.
I don't know what the actual number ended up being, but Werewolves of London, Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
They hit it in one take, but Mick Fleetwood was playing the drums for him, and he was having so much fun. Let's do another one. Let's do another. So they did a whole bunch of takes, and they used the first one.
Of course. But when you love doing it, that makes the story even better. Morgan Wallen continues to make history. He just became the first musical act in history to spend at least 10 weeks at number 1 with 3 consecutive full-length albums.
That's pretty amazing.
It is pretty crazy. Luke Bryan, I love this, will not work on Fridays because his son Bo is playing high school football. You will not see him
Friday Night
in
Lights.
concert.
That's powerful.
He said, of course, he needs to take time off, and he wants to spend quality time with him. He said, Bo has been driving, so we don't get to see him as much anymore, and I want to be there for all those football games. Priorities. It's all about priorities.
Love it.
Carly Pierce just had to go to the hospital to get some stitches on her thumb. She was eating a meal after a show, went to open up a glass bottle of ranch dressing. It broke off and went through her thumb and had to have stitches.
Well, hopefully she learned her lesson. Ranch dressing is terrible.
Dangerously terrible. Did you know the songwriters of Take Me Home Country Roads originally wanted Johnny Cash to sing it? I thought John Denver wrote it. He is.
I assumed he did.
A songwriter on it, and he gets a credit, but it wasn't the finished product in the beginning, and they wanted Johnny Cash to do it. Of course, Johnny Cash's version would have been darker, right?
Way different.
Yeah.
I bet it would have been good, though. Here's one more bit of trivia on that song. Everyone thinks, including the University of West Virginia, but it's not West Virginia. It's really meaning Western Virginia. But it's,
that is interesting.
It's really about Western Virginia.
Huh.
But I guess Western didn't fit in the rhythm of the song.
Well, it's a great song, I think. Drink a Beer by Luke Bryan, originally written by Chris Stapleton, and it was pitched to Dierks Bentley, but he passed on it. The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert, which has won so many awards, supposed to be recorded by her then husband, Blake Shelton. He saw how much she connected to it and said, here, you have it. Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band. Alan Jackson was planning on recording it, but he had just cut another song called Where I Come From that mentioned fried chicken, and he thought that was too much. Like he was going to be the fried chicken guy, so he passed on that. Beyonce can add Emmy Award to her ever-growing list of awards.
That.
Yesterday, the Television Academy announced she won a Primetime Emmy as a costume designer for the Outstanding Costumes for Variety. And, of course, there was an ensemble that was with her, but that was for her Netflix Christmas Game Day halftime show, also known as Beyonce Bowl. She's up for 2 more Emmy Awards which, one, she's up against her husband, Jay-Z, who's nominated for his involvement in the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show starring Kendrick Lamar. So that'll be interesting who comes home with that award. Let's talk birthdays. You got any good ones?
Well, we're a little light on good ones today,
Okay.
but let's see what we can do here. Let's start with boy, there aren't very many good ones. Do you remember the actor, and he became a bit of a celebrity for being out of control, Danny Bonaducci?
Yes. Partridge Family.
Partridge Family, that's exactly right.
I'm going to say Danny Bonaducci's 65.
I don't really have any idea of what to go with here. I'll say 61.
He was 66, you get that. He was in the Partridge Family. He was a little wisecracking kid.
Red-headed.
In the 70s. So, yeah, that was a tough one. Here's one that'll be very tough for you all. He was the owner of the Double Deuce Bar and Roadhouse. He was earlier in the 70s. He was one of the EMTs in Emergency. His name is Kevin Tighe. He was John Locke's father on Lost.
Oh, John Locke.
How old is Kevin Tighe? Tighe.
Oh, I know that guy from Lost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real scumbag.
Yes, he was.
Yes. You've never seen the show.
I've never seen this. Oh, I saw maybe the first episode or two.
They get into it later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Way later.
I mean, he's got to be in his 70s.
I was going to say 77.
I was going to go a little older. I was going to say 78.
Close. He is a little older. 81.
Okay.
Let me throw one Connor's way. Former NBA All-Star DeMarcus Cousins.
Boogie retired early. I don't know. What is he? He still was playing overseas. Is he like 38?
You going to Prices Right him?
I'm going to say he is 39.
DeMarcus Cousins, you're right that he retired early. Only 35.
Yeah,
35.
I should have gone younger.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Those are our birthdays.
And that is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS. 11 minutes before 6 o'clock. Let's get one final check of traffic on this rather busy day on the roads. Captain Paul, how's it looking?
Well, Heidi, there's a crash on the westbound 64 on-ramp from McCausland. Also an accident on eastbound 64 at Clarkson. 64 east also slows down at 170. Westbound 64 is congested in front of Forest Park. And from Timberlake Manor to Chesterfield Airport Road, westbound 64, make that 44 is running slow from Jameson to Elm, and southbound 55 is heavy around South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Everybody loves good barbecue, and everybody wants to know where the next great barbecue place is. And if you're looking for an overnight sensation, it's only taken them 10 years. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery, Woods Mill and Clayton Road. There is a gas station, West County Phillips 66 gas station. In that gas station, in the back, for 10 years, some of the best barbecue in town. Bring a friend and spread the word. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Don't forget about the bakery. 3baybarbecueandbakery.com.
6 iconic names, 2 bobbleheads, 1 unforgettable night. Join us Friday, September 5th as the Cardinals face off with the Giants and celebrate the 1985 National League Championship. That night, 20,000 fans 16 and older will take home one of 2 1985 triple bobbleheads, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. Whether it's the legendary Coleman, McGee, and Smith, or the iconic Tudor, Cox, and Andujar. You won't want to miss your chance to get this unique triple bobblehead. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions.
Electricity is very important because if you don't have electricity, you're sitting in the dark in more ways than one. And when the lights go out for one last time, maybe, just maybe, you want a whole home generator. Well, that's where Michael Baldy comes in because Michael Baldy can do that. He's putting in a whole home generator for a friend of mine on the hill. Whether you live on the hill or a brand new home, at some point you're going to need some electrical help, and that's where Michael Baldy comes in. He's been an electrician since 1996, and he has a full team of electricians who will help you every single step of the way, whether it's a whole home generator, maybe some extra plugs for the Christmas lights, maybe it's something in the basement, something in the attic, maybe the garage. Doesn't matter. Whether it's an old Victorian home or a brand new commercial building, indoor or out, Michael Baldy, the electrician, has got to be on your phone. Put him on your speed dial, 314-968-9999, 314-968-9999. You can thank me later. Michael Baldy, BaldyElectric.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country. When you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
Connect with a local divorce attorney today. Text LEGAL66 to 323232. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment. A moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen. A moment to find your dream, or build one. A moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, it's been fun, but it's time to wrap this show up with some randoms.
These are really random.
All right, I'm ready.
Do you know that there's such a thing as a fear of long words?
No.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah, this was something that was repeated when I was a kid.
Okay, long words.
Yeah, the long word fear. It's a very long word. Are you going to pronounce it?
I'm going to try it. Hippopotamonstros quipedaliophobia.
Oh my gosh, how many letters are in that?
Itself is a very long word.
It in itself is a very long.
I would
didn't
say
know
I'm scared of spelling.
long
Scared of
words.
pronouncing.
Yes.
If you got that on the news.
When I was a kid, though, Mary Poppins was a big movie, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of easy to say.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
There you go.
The first place in the U.S., this is really random, to use 911 as an emergency number was Haleyville, Alabama in February of 1968.
And why there?
What was it before?
There wasn't.
There
You just
wasn't?
called
the
out.
cops.
Yeah.
But what was the number?
I think
You'd
you
have
had
to know
to
your
have
own-
You'd have like the whole number?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have to
call
dial
the station?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, that system doesn't seem like it
wasn't
doesn't gear up very very well.
No, it doesn't. And then, so that was in 1968. A few weeks later, the second place to use 911 was Nome, Alaska. So they're
Wow.
testing it out where there were no emergencies.
Okay, yeah.
and no people.
This is truly random. Jackie Chan did the voice of the Beast in the Chinese version of Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
Moreover, he sang all the songs.
He did?
Oh.
Can he sing?
I'd like to hear it. I'd like to see if he
yeah.
can sing.
We should look that up. You might know this one, Connor. The expression, my bad, became popular because of former NBA star Manute Bol. He
Oh.
didn't have a grasp of English. Instead of saying my fault, he'd say my bad.
Wow, is that so? It
That's-
wasn't a thing before Minute?
That's
Wow.
according to this. And I do know coaches hate when kids say that. Rick Majerus would say, I know, I was watching. We know it was your fault. Sliced bread is less than 100 years old. That
blows my mind.
97 years ago, Chillicothe, Missouri.
Best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Wow.
And those are the randoms.
You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Wednesday afternoon. Have a great night, and hopefully you'll meet us right back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Congratulations to John Beal Roofing. Want to give them a shout out. They've been a sponsor of the show through thick and through thin for coming up on 20 years, and their message has remained the same all these 20 years. Make sure you call someone local. With all the storms that have been in the area over the last couple of months, it's been busy, and a lot of out-of-towners are coming in. They sure are nice, but you know what? They'll take half your money, and you never see them again. Somebody from the insurance industry told me, make sure you call local. I told them I was well-schooled. John Beal Roofing will guarantee you the best.